Oh, my phone's on the ground. Yeah, that should be better. Getting all the things in the right places. Hmm. Hmm. No clue how long I'll be on for. I really wish I could just sleep right now. I like sleeping in the daytime. I like sleeping in the daytime and waking up in the nighttime, rather than sleeping in the nighttime, waking up in the daytime. It's a much more enjoyable thing. So much nicer sleeping in the day. Like, you know, you go to sleep at daytime and it's much more relaxing somehow. Go to sleep at nighttime and it's like, I have to sleep. Not because I want to, it's because I have to. Terrible. I'm gonna load or what? Where's my music at? Oh god. Accidentally opened up a browser and I got all my stuff open. Got a gajillion tabs. I feel like I should transfer all the old ones into Chrome Beta. It's supposed to just be for projects and stuff, but now everything's just moved to Chrome Beta. I think that one's music, isn't it? No, that's that one that isn't music. Is that one music? No, that's not music. That one looks like the music's. Now we're getting the chat to pop up. Where you at, chat? Oh, it's been forever since I last did streaming. As every damn time I do a stream, it's always been forever since the last one. This is... I have to do things more consistently. Really doing anything, let alone doing things consistently. Why is the music popping up? I think I have to crash everything, start again. Doop 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 doop. Doop doop doop. Crash the everything. Fresh. 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 It's really not wanting to cooperate today, is it? Let's try going to the next song. God, I understand. There we go. Look at old hurdy-gurdy. I don't know why YouTube keeps automatically doing the auto quality thing. Used to be able to set the quality and then it would try to do that one. But now it's just like, nah, I'm gonna be auto every time. And then it's auto the lowest possible quality. And then just like refreshes every few seconds. Oh, nothing but complaints. Doesn't look like the chat wants to open today. Come on. Come on. You're looking good right now. Do it. No. Oh. No. Oh, I'm using a proxy thing. Get out of here, proxy. Wait a minute. Would you mind a food, kitty? Stop the prox. Will probably help with things loading. Oh, what else do I have up? Have I got code and things? Is that existing right now? Yes. Hey, there's Jack. Get this chat up. I don't like how that video hasn't even started to load. I'll just refresh that. Eli's very unhappy.
Mono, yo.
The messages still go through the same. Eli's just looking like that. It's not alright at all, it's over to you. Bye, if the information's still there. I can't see it for some reason. Oh, let me just get some food. She's still got food. Let's play. Wow. He's very playful lately. Almost every day. Basically hasn't played for years. One other thing I noticed she never does anymore is blink with her second eyelids. Because cats have two sets of eyelids, because nature be freaky like that. She used to always like have the second eyelids like blinking and things, but now she just blinks. You don't even see them. Okay. I have to do things. I haven't done things in so long. So where were we up to? I was trying to make it angled. But then that thing happens because the bevel happens and then it angles it. The bevel doesn't go along the normal. Which it really should be going along the normal. Which means I gotta do the bevel-y thing, the angling thing first, and then bevel in a much more complicated fashion. The bevel just moves directly, I mean the bevel just moves directly down. No, I want to do it the other way. I want to move it down, then bend it all up. The first bot has arrived. Now, how do I do things again? My mental map's gone. Okay, I'm assuming it would be in this thing. How did I do the bendy uppy thing? It's the commented out thing, because it's commented out. And then where's the bevel happen? Bevel happens there. Well, that's indicating that it does happen that way. It's not on the other one. Now there's no bevel. Why is there no bevel? You got the bottom, you got the top, you got the bevel. The bevel's not doing depth? No? Bevel does bevel? Where does it do the depthy part? I guess the depthy part is happening at the wrong place. I don't think so. So it'd be before the faces, I would assume before the mirror. It's gonna have something to do with the bevel. That. Do I not have a bevel? Oh, okay. What's the problem? Oh, the kink, probably. Is that an illusion? No. Okay. That's because of the move downwards thing, but the move downwards thing is happening within the bevel thing, which happens earlier on and then gets tilted. So everything should be fine. Perhaps it is just illusion. Let's just not worry about it, move on. Alright. So I guess put the other side on this thing, which would be done with the mirror. Those aren't tilted. So... depth also does this. Weird. Wait, what? Why is that one not as tall? Oh, because I'm not including the bevel. Yeah. Okay, that's implying the bevel is missing from this. No, because the other edge should still be in the same place regardless. Let's just not care. I mean, it's not functionally a problem. Okay. So, we want to do a mirror. I believe my mirroring thingy should work pretty well. Should just be that thing. Should I have it separate like this one is separate? It really doesn't matter what order I do this in. I mean, it's already created everything in the depth thing there. You know, just for the sake of doing it like this, let's just do it like this. We are not doing that. The range would be by the depth. Depth detail. Apparently -1. Where did I just disappear off to? -1. Uh-huh. And then... Sure. And... I guess? Wait, minusing a negative is adding? God, that confuses me. -1 minus -1. I mean, -1 minus 1, sorry. Yeah, I think that should be fine. Nope. $273. The bill. Okay, hi. So that should be going through that. Regardless, this should be fine. Even if I just set this to a 2 and it went once, it should just duplicate the last one in this, which is an empty one, so I want -2. So, I guess it duplicated over there? It's an interesting way that... Oh, no. Okay, let's put that like that, make that a 2 again. Let's try one more time. I did just save, yep. Interesting. I feel like if I go to edit mode, it's going to crash. Why is it joining seemingly to that edge? If anything, this is the one that should be duplicated across this other side, getting added to the end. If it was getting added to, it would be going past that one, which would be causing the error. We want it to be put in to the last one. Oh yeah. Okay, it's just dying. Oh yeah. It's backwards. At -I? I think I'm gonna have to do a -1 on that as well. A -2? Whatever. There we go. We got both sides of our... Yeah. Like it's automatically just beveling itself. Doing a double layer bevel completely by coincidence. I mean, the sides are flat. You do you. As long as the ends are where the ends are supposed to be. Which I can only assume they are. That doesn't look like they are, does it? Oh no. That should be completely down. Let's say the bevel's doing something. Let's try to ignore it. Like, because that should be perfectly fine. It's this top part that isn't right. This bevel thing. That's what's adding the extra confusion. Not the side part. Whatever. So the next thing to duplicate is just the top part. No, not duplicate. I have to recreate. So that just does the side parts. So yeah, then to duplicate that, I have to run this again. I have to do the top, the bottom, the bevel. I have to do the fill. So I literally need to do all of that again. Let's just get it working, then make it look pretty. If I can still be bothered to. So we don't care about group past that point, we can reuse it. All of this should be perfectly acceptable in this sort of a way. Problems are, it now needs to be upside down. Which I had a thing that sort of did that. I don't remember if I kept it though. And I don't remember where exactly I start using that. It's got to be something to do with the 2. I don't think I do it on the bevel side. I don't think I do it on the... It's got to be one of those though. No. Nah, do it here. Self-bevel, what? Oh, it's bevel. All? That doesn't... no. There's no 2. Oh, because of course I'm putting in the end of an array. Self-height. Yeah, okay. So I should just have to say it equals negative itself. Technically, there's a heck of a lot more that's got to happen here, but sure. I guess I'll just try to be using... No, because that doesn't work. I mean, I suppose it does. Using the relative height as a percentage from the top to the bottom of how high it's supposed to be offsetting the diameter. Whatever. Yeah. Interesting. Everything ceased to exist. I am not adding anything to birds. Now, where does verse come from? Yeah, so I think face fill creates that list, right? No. You actually don't even use it. Okay, how do you get verts in there? Wait, I looked at the wrong one. Oh. 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 I'm not gonna be able to sleep till I accomplish something today. No matter how much I try. How does it know the existence of verts? It is a crucial thing that requires to be input. Without it, it doesn't work. I really don't think that's what's doing it. Is everything doing it? Oh, literally everything might be doing it. Okay, yeah, everything does it. So one of these things is clearing it? I mean, that's just appending. Everything should be appending. The only place it gets cleared is there. Unless Space Fills has got the problem. Stop searching forwards. Is it because... Huh? I'm not doing the depth thing a second time. All of that should be excluded unless something here is doing something magical. Shouldn't be. Okay. Ah, equals. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. How do I get rid of that bevel? Oh, I don't actually have a condition for that, do I? This is only if it was that type of gear. Eh. Let's just forget about that. I'm going to do the same thing the other one. Bad code. That's removed. Oh yeah, because I got a third one now. Extra bad code. Okay. How did that happen? Also, why is it still tilted? Because it's supposed to be. Okay. Oh boy, that's an extra thing I gotta figure out how to comment out. That is because of this. Interesting. What am I doing here? I feel like that's not supposed to be commented out. Put it that way. And that should fix that. Yep. Okay, so the next thing is why self-height is like that. I'm assuming, yeah, it's being adjusted. Okay. I mean, if it works, it works. I could just set that to be a variable and then it's just a times d. No, because it's passing it through other stuff that's using it. So I'll just grab that. And this goes Okay. So next problem, the bevel's going the wrong way. So, as I said, it would be nice if that bevel could be inverted depending on if it was underneath or above. I can just add an if for it, but I'd really rather it not be. It's got to be something that's checked beforehand. Just use an offset, okay. So, yeah. Oh no. I was not expecting there to be so many of these. It should only be that one that I'm caring about. Yeah. So just the twos. Okay. So it equals that, or it's equal to negative that if what? If it's groups I so this should just be getting the very first and the very last group. But then it's saying groups because I'm passing through a thing, aren't I? Up straight, damn it. All I was sitting up properly is because it means I had to have my feet on the ground and I got bad blood flow on my feet. It was a toss-up between going out or doing this. I thought this felt more productive. Ideally. Assuming I accomplished something. Yeah, the original group gets put through, which is just the top and bottom thing. We haven't done the fill thing yet. Okay. So I don't actually need to do anything fancy here. Just a simple groups 0, 2 is less than 0. Huh? What? What? An object is not subscribable. What? Okay. So groups I is loc A, then loc A 0. I should be whatever the heck. Doesn't matter which one this is. This should just be the first vertex in this thing. And then we want its Z. It does have a Z, right? Have to if it's getting put through there. Oh, hi, yeah. Okay. Let's do that. Alright, now it's going up. Great. So, next thing we'd want... we don't have the fill. Oh, we do have the fill. We side fill, and then... we just want to mirror it. It doesn't need so many spaces, but whatever. Use them well. This should be mirroring everything. Really, I should just be mirroring that. No, because I need to get what's from Phil. I mean, if I add Phil to this group, then that could just be passed through, because I don't want to duplicate everything. I just want to do these things. And I do believe I just want that dumped on the end. Wait a second, because that means it's going to be doing that. So I actually want this dump on the big... Okay. So the problem is, it's going to be doing... It's jumping across to this side. I want it to jump to that side. Oh, well, this whole thing's in its own group thing. So I could just reverse it before putting it in here. I'm not... How does that get into there? Okay, so I don't want to be doing that. You got to be doing a group, like everything else. And I guess it groups. Which means that's sort of irrelevant. Oh no, we're using L a lot. This is complicated. Okay. I don't know what the heck this thing was doing. Trying to... Well, I guess it's just duplicating everything. No, we're just... I don't know. I think it's doing an extra thing on the top, but it's not jumping up to it. I don't know. So, yeah, I just want this thing to... I mean, it is doing the thing. Yeah, but I'd have to go through these things. It should be easy enough to do. You know what, I think I'm just going to do it that way. The way it's working currently is fine. Let's just loop it through. So it should be detail join. Oh, this is messy. It's getting messier. Oh, I hate this. I'm gonna be doing that thing again where I have to rewrite all the code from the ground up again. But there's no clear way to do all of this. I'm refining it down at the very least, I think, maybe. I mean, my first version of these lots of remakes did actually work, but it was a heck of a lot simpler, so no. Yeah, let's just assume I am making progress. That times 2 minus 1 will be the inputs plus 2. So that is this plus 2 and then minus 1 because we're not doing that inside one a second time. So that's how it should be. What is that number? Join is 5. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. But then if there's a bevel, there's another one. That's the problem with doing it this way. Or I could just separate that entire group so it's not connected to everything else. Gotta do it a separate way, don't I? Yeah. Let's just get it separated, and then we'll worry about that thing. So we want to be doing the groups thing again. Which one are we putting in? The groups is this. But that was the groups for everything. because we're adding multiple of these things, so this is irrelevant. I gotta figure out how to remove L from this whole thing. So we have the group of the things we are now creating that we want to append, and then we want to that would be the lengths of group L. Why does it think there's multiple of these things? Oh no. There should only be one. Why does it think there's multiple? Lengths of tooth sides -1. Why -1? We don't want the first one, we want the inner one. The first one would be the outer one, then the inner one, and then the inner one we're using to make the fill. Okay. Make a copy of all of that. So let's just assume I know what I am doing and don't second guess things. So that is group. And then we're appending to group -1. Because it's doing a weird thing. It's not doing it, it's doing it the old way, I think, with the jumping down, like it's going across each one rather than down each one or something. Because that's the join, which would mean across, so it's going to cross one, next one, cross one, next one, across one. But it's not at all how we want this to be going now. And ordered is irrelevant, so we can just scramble all this up. Alright. So we want to flip those. So this would be in the range of groups. So that's how many long, like down the shape of the tooth, and then how many across would be that. So we want to append to group at each one of these. When we add to group, it's always a -1. So then we want to go through this. We already have the first one, and then we're plussing one because reasons. Really does not make sense to me. So it should be 0, which is skipped, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And all one's not doing 6. So I have no clue why that happens. None at all. Let's just ignore it. Make things as if I knew what I was doing. I can't have my feet up and not be slouching. Maybe if I move my backrest board more. With this really awesome backrest. Clickety-wee! Now why don't I just not have a backrest locked? Let's just have it unlocked. Is there any problem with that? I don't see any problem with that. It's not clunky, it's not squeaky. How far back does it go? Not that far back. Not like the other chair I had anyway, where you could be laying down all the way. It goes so far back that it falls backwards. Since your math doesn't work. I mean, it's definitely a lot further back. I like the force you have to do to hold it now. It's like, it's not an annoying amount, but it is an amount that is sort of like a workout. Like one of those ab cruncher things. But it's like, instead of, like, the chair's squishing you up instead of gravity squishing you down. Yeah, but this music suddenly reminded me of Kingdom Hearts. I bought the Kingdom Hearts trilogy. I really want to download it, but it'll mess up my stream. The only thing that's stopping me. That and I'm sort of wanting to play a different game. I got the Kingdom Hearts thing now, I can play it whatever the heck I want. Just like I've been able to for the last 20 years. However the heck long. Last 10 years. Maybe at least 10 years. Seems like... No, don't think about time. Don't think about time. No, 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 no. Look. Code. Distractions. So the group, we're doing the thing with the detailed, skipping the first one, then we grab whatever the heck this is. We don't need L at all anymore. So we just want the P. Then the vertice is the vertice. R. I wonder how long before the chair starts squeaking. Yeah. Then we got append, the heck, I don't care, whatever, group is group, and then we got the thing and we want to return that. Why does that seem like everything? I'll have to keep typing that in. That really feels like it should be all of the things I'm looking for. It was just super complicated before because I was doing it in a weird pattern to try to keep the vertex order so I could merge things, remove duplicates, not have duplicate things of code that are just slightly different every other time. Like what I'm currently doing. Okay, so we got group. And that's being returned, so this just has groups being added to it now, and then group being returned. And this is fill. So we want to do that afterwards now. There's hecka too many spaces. So group plus equals that thing in a bracket, and then we have groups, which is group -1. I think I got confused with that -1 before. Yeah, so that should be whatever the heck's the last one, which is the one I'm looking for. And I have the fill on the other one, so then the only other place I need this is on the new one. So for now, let's just forget about that, and everything should be the same except that's gone. Nope. 199. I'm still slouching, damn it. Okay, let's lock the chair in the highest possible position. Oh, that's uncomfortable. I feel like I want to lower now. As low as it goes. Got chairs with adjustable heights, then I just permanently have it in the lowest setting. Even then, it's higher than the other one. What am I looking for? 199. Damn it. Okay. We don't know which one this is coming from, though. Oh, 396. Sounds great. Oh, it's the only one that's there. I don't know why I had to search for it. No other one that looks like this. So we got the top, we got the bottom, that's one thing, and then we got that one thing and we join it with this other thing. So -1 should be that end one. It's this. Right? Well, I mean, we know it's a 1. Maybe I should just put a 1 through? Because that's what group... Oh. What? Why did I put that -1? Oh, I do have 2 of them. Never mind. Oh, what am I doing? That doesn't go there. But yes, it does. What? 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 396. Okay. Oh, why is it looking for tooth side? That's the problem. Yeah. Change that back to a -1. Nice and uniform. Should work in 477. Okay, it's a creation error thing. Okay, what thing in particular messed that up? Yeah, that thing did. Didn't it? Mm-hmm. Okay. What? So group is an array of 2 things, and those 2 things contain basically the same thing but slightly different. Which is the edge that I want. So I only want one of those edges. Yeah, so I have groups. We loop through the length of that. What P is, which is this. We don't have any, whatever that other one was, L's or something. Group is group, which isn't groups. And we append an array. No, we don't. Yes, we do. Ah, that's the problem. I'm just bring everything back. Or another one on top of that one. We don't need to do that. It's already doing this. Wait, no, was that something else? Alright, let's just get rid of all this again. Okay, something's gone wrong in the fill faces. That means something's out of order. Okay. Where am I messing up now? Again, so we've got a 1 array thingy of things going through here. This is then returning a multiple array thingy, which is being added to this. Do I have to do that? Oh. That is being returned. You are returning group. Group is an array of indexes, which there should be that amount of indexes. It's sideways. Damn it! That around again. So for each one of these, we need to create one of those, which then that goes through. Try again. There we go. Oh. Okay. I should be able to add all of that back until the mesh fill, I guess. Okay, now we want to add the fill to it. Or more so, we want to reverse it before we add it to there, but whatever. Damn annoying extra spaces. Okay. So then we want to say group plus equals this thing, and this thing has group -1. But before we do this, we want to say that bus.
Zizat. Jesus man.
Say so.
Your viewer count.
Oh. Yeah, you are literally the only person who joins now.
-1.
Like, in the last number of streams I have done, it has just been you. Everybody else has disappeared. I switched back to the programming, to the science and technology category, because maybe that was it. I was in,
Lol.
yeah, I was in the just chatting category, because I hear that was supposedly a better place to be. And because I'm not always constantly just doing this, sometimes I'll start playing a game or something. Which I've been playing this really fun game. Which is very dangerous for me to try to tab to it. It's Shipwreckers, I think it's called. Just might actually be making sounds in the background somewhat. I thought I'd already done anything. Yeah, I'm only slightly in debt now. Each little bit helps. Ah, I got addicted to playing this game. Oh, it's red. Oh. It won't let me click on it. Hey, gotcha. What's it gonna unlock?
Zizat. I'm addicted to the pictures of EOS I stole from her PC.
I can't go to menu armor here. Oh no. Oh, I can't hear it because I got the volume down too low. Yeah, but it's just a game where you just destroy spaceships and salvage them. That's the game. Oh, I'm sitting well too close to my screens. So here's a ship that I've been scavenging away at. So you got like 15 minutes each session to just destroy it as much as you can. Different things go in different places. So yeah, you basically got the furnace, the collection-y thing, and the salvaging thing. You just eat things to their correct places to fill up the thing at top middle.
Pity you didn't get the joke about -1 viewers, lol.
Uh-huh.
Or too stupid, lol.
Thanks, man. One day other people might join. Well, I don't know what's going on. I guess streaming's just a changing thing now. But yeah. Oh,
You only got to believe.
Yeah, down there.
LMAO.
Yeah. Oh. Back here. Down there. Yeah, so it's just all about like doing the same thing over and over again, and you get like more efficient. This was the first time I've ever seen this ship before. So I sort of immediately blew up a whole lot of stuff, and it didn't go very well, and I almost died. Oh, yeah. I have my volume down.
Okay, your 0.000198385 average viewer is leaving now.
Oh no.
Opie opie.
I don't think you've been here long enough for it to count you as a viewer yet.
Account credit applied.
through the hole. Come on.
Lol.
Ah. Yeet.
I'll be back, don't worry.
Oh no.
Secured. Credits deposited.
What's through that door? Oh, that goes back to the interior, or would have been the interior if I hadn't already stripped it away. It was cased in a shell. There's a little piece of it left there and some pieces over here. Yeah, I blew up a thing over there accidentally. Depressurized the hull. I thought it was fine, but it wasn't. Turns out, I don't get how to depressurize hulls in this game. Like, I thought you do a thing, but yeah, no, apparently not. And then a chunk of the door blew off along with chunks of the wall. And they slammed it. Oh, oxygen tin. Slammed into some electrical components, which then started arcing electricity everywhere and just sort of plasma cut chunks of the things out all over the place, and that made another hull breach. Yeah. Very fun times.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
So much in this thing to salvage. It's the highest value ship I've ever seen. But it's all interior things, which is the most annoying thing, because I don't want to destroy too much of the hull, because I can salvage that as well. Otherwise I'd just cut this thing in half, right down the middle. Also, it won't let me cut it in half. Oh my god, what are these things? Oh my god, really? That's so many things!
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Oh my god. If I bump them too much, they'll also just sort of explode and arc around the place. Yeah. I wonder if the reactor's got a time limit, because it's also got like this big nuclear reactor thing, and I think it's got a limited amount of coolant. So if I leave it too long, I'm suddenly just going to get a warning and it's going to explode, so I have to really quickly get it out of there. Oh no! I bumped it into the other thing. Or tractor thing's just too powerful sometimes. Oh, it's not making a chain reaction, is it? No, okay. Oh no! Get out of here. Like, you really just gotta tap that button. So, like, it just yeets it on towards you. I hate it. Originally, whenever I pulled things towards me, it would just slam into me. A fun time. Yeah, it's not the most exciting ship to see me demolish. I don't have a workflow.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Oh, that's a pressurized compartment, isn't it? Yeah. Probably you should have used that switch right. Oh, whatever. Ah!
Helmet damage detected.
Okay. That's a thing that could happen. This is a really highly pressurized ship. I had been just blowing things up like that for ages on other ships. Maybe because it was the docking ports and they're like reinforced or something. What's that? Piece of garbage? Oh. Yeah. Oh, whatever. Some more components in there that need to be yeeted. Yeah, it's a real easy way to make a big opening in the thing, though. Gotta remember to stand back.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Oh, just nicked it. Such an addictive game. So that's a reactor there. I don't even know where the coolant is. Oh, there's the coolant. Okay. Just yank off its control panel, I'm sure that's fine.
Oxygen reserves are low. Reminder, asphyxiation can lead to missed salvage quotas.
Good thing I got some oxygen here.
Count credit applied.
So I've got... Okay, maybe it's always just got 3 canisters. I feel like every day one of those canisters disappear. Generally it only takes me 3 days to do stuff. Although I think I'm already on day 3, or is this day 2? Nah, this is day 2. The stuff I know what I'm doing, I can do it in 2 days.
Credits deposited.
Got 1 done in a single day, that was pretty crazy. Well, those are the easy ships. Each ship gets harder as you get leveled up. As you level up. Heck of a lot more value to them though. So still more money over time.
Account credit applied.
Get out of here. Another oxygen container, that's nice. A panel. Oh, I've already checked the batteries out, so I guess buttons won't work. That's everything out of that little room. Yeet. I said this is going to be dangerous to open up. Oh no, I just slammed it into the wall. Didn't damage, okay. All good.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Okay. And there's the room that I went and just yeeted things into. That's the airlock. Okay. That's got 2 airlocks. Okay. That was the thing that was pressurizing stuff. Okay.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Probably faster just to do this. Really knowing how the doors work. Each door is not its own separate object.
Alright, Cutter, you got 5 minutes left of this shift before they turn the lights out on you. Pitter patter. We wrap.
Does he say pitter patter? He does.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred. Salvage gained. Credits awarded.
Level 2. Or level 2 efficiency? I don't know. His switcher's worth quite a lot. Relatively. Adds up. What? Okay.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Well, that's very damaged. Being hit by the arcing electricity from the wall, through the wall. Or am I tossing it? There we go. What happens if I accidentally destroy one of those things?
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Yeet. Hardly not confusing.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Nice extra oxygen model for next time. Okay. What's going on in here? Oh. You accidentally pull something too close to you, you can't move it away. You can only yeet it. Oh, it's a lot of sparky stuff. You know what, let's just cut a hole in the roof. The roof or the floor? Pull it out a more safe way.
Warning. Oxygen reserves are low.
Really? Oh wow, it's still got a couple of minutes left. May as well grab that other oxygen bottle.
Please refrain from damaging salvage.
Yonk.
Oxygen level stabilizing.
Don't you go too close to me.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Ooh.
Salvage deposited.
Oh my god, no wonder it always killed me with all of these arcing computers. Whole wall just blasted out on them. It's like arcing like damages without actually damaging too.
Time is winding down, Cutter. Dig deep in lead's famous
How have I done so much? That's weird. That red bar increased quite a lot. I don't think I damaged that much. Oh. Oh, please be the long ones, yes. But it's worthless. Oh, that was not worthless. Wait, what? Oh. There's to show how much damage it did. Whoops.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Well done. Salvaged that much stuff, which is a pretty decent day's worth of work. It's your average sort of amount. Yeah, once I get the nuclear reactor out, it'll fill up about that much. And then the rest of that's pretty much the hull. Not sure if I can do that in another 15 minutes. I think this is the last room I need to clear. It's just a tedious clearing thing. And then I gotta figure out how to unstick the front of the hull, because all the rest of it just goes to scrap. And then it's just a matter of cutting out the reactor and yeeting it down to the bottom. Huh? Damn equipment. Doesn't really need to be. Oh, that one needs to be repaired. Okay. Oh. Continue salvage. So I can pause it. That mutes it. Okay. So I've got that working. So now I just need to do the mirror thing. And the mirror thing will be happening before we do the reverse. That goes down there. And then this is just dependent on group, which has, I suppose so. I just replace that with group. Okay. Music. Bam! One tooth. Almost. Probably do that. I mean, it only happens on this one. That one doesn't do it, and the side ones don't do it. Ugh, look at that. Ain't that just pretty? Pretty. Only other thing I want to do is put an edge loop down there. I mean, a mark sharp thing. And then I want to put a mark sharp down there as well. But that can happen at another time. That's irrelevant. Irrelevant. Okay. Wait, so what am I doing? Technically, I've now accomplished something. I have completed that band. I want that to be slightly different. So it was all more uniform. Should just be as simple as that. And the depth thing is a little bit more different. That's fine as it is. That's loud. Why the heck is that so loud? Oh, is all my music being loud? Oh, that's quieter. I'm gonna have fun if I try to turn that down anymore. Okay. So yeah, how do I fill these parts, I guess, is the next thing. Oh, that's a more interesting one, isn't it? So technically that one should be edge 0. So I'd have to offset by half, depending on half the join thingy, depending on if that thing exists. And then I could go back negative and positive to either side to find either edge. I could create another edge loop that just uses the endpoints. I could not worry and let's just make some points. Get the points in the right places, because that's just going to be one side to the other. It's just a matter of where do they join from one side to the other. Is that right? Yeah, that looks right. That looks symmetrical. But it just looks the other side. Okay. Also top to join, bottom joint. Okay, let's do that actually. That's a simple-ish thing to do. Yeah, it's the fill. So once I do that, we just do it one more time. Don't really care what that is. And then this is 0, and that would be a -1. Yeah, perfect. Base orientation still all good? Yep. I'm sitting so much closer with this higher up backrest. Gotta look so far to the side to go from one screen to another. Oh, I hate this. I miss a past that will never happen again. Maybe one day I could achieve something like it, but it will not be the same in the slightest. It's just something else completely separate that has the same effect. No matter what it is, it will only ever be temporary. Being happy is the worst thing. When you're at the highest point, the only way is down. You can prolong it, And delay it. It's gonna happen. When you're at the bottom, there's no guarantee there's a way back up again. Always guaranteed to go for the top of the hill. Never guaranteed to go back up again. Climbing out is the best part. What am I doing? Okay. I'll get rid of the blue stuff. So the endpoint. How do we do an end cap? I really don't like to have the condition of whether or not the end is there. I could have something that marks it. Oops. Oh boy. Oh, that was a thing. So many things. That's just flooded the screen. It's the same on my other screen. Yeah, so... What am I doing? Yeah. So I was thinking... So I know where that is, this edge loop. So what can I do with this information? I could somehow mark what that edge loop is when it's created. So I could just have a list which is just like top start, top end, bottom start, bottom end sort of a thing. Because with those two locations, everything else is sort of irrelevant. Wait, we're missing a thing. What's happening? Mirror? I haven't messed with the mirror, have I? Why is the mirror not mirroring everything? Has it always not been? No, because we're doing that in here. Don't do that? I guess that makes sense. Oh, I don't have the middle part too. I don't think that's because of that. Where's my middle strip? Not that I care too much about that. That's a... Oh, because it's -1. Perhaps. Nope. Because it's a length to an index. That might have something to do with the fill, not the mirror. Did it change anything doing that one? I don't think it did it? I should probably keep that there then. Yeah. That looks like it's probably more likely a thing I changed in here. Because I did say there was a -1. Or a +1. Which doesn't make sense, but whatever. There you go. Huh. Good. Oh, I didn't get my drink.
ZZ S.
Oh no!
I'm back.
Sorry for your loss.
And I brought some friends.
Oh man, what? That's too much pressure, man.
Lol. Quantum Apprentice. Lol, you need some notifications.
Quantum Apprentice. What an interesting name. Notifications for what?
For that raid.
I should have it, but it didn't work for some reason, and I can't be bothered trying to sort it out because I have spent so much time creating this chat. Oh my god.
Zizek, yes, you need a notifications for followers, raid,
Oh,
etc.
4 people? I need you guys to hang around for the next week and you can't leave. And then I could have my average of 3 viewers. Wouldn't that be nice?
FOAH people. Quantum Apprentice. Lol, yeah, it took me a while to figure chat out too.
Yeah, well, it kept changing it on me, which is really annoying. I hand code all my own stuff, so... a chat thing. Yeah, it was originally doing it. I might have just completely ignored it because it just stopped working. That's D-Live. That's...
Zizek, right now he gets 0.0003385 average viewers. And it's just all me.
Yeah.
Lol.
Do I even want to look to see what my average viewer is? Should just tell me here, right? If not, don't worry. You are live. Oh, they've changed it again. Oh, why did you follow a last stream? Does it mean this stream or last stream? Okay, whatever. Like, get 54, I got 260.
Zizek, lol.
What?
This stream. Quantum Apprentice, me probably.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It says last stream. I don't know where I'm looking for things anymore because they've changed it all again.
Zizek, Quantum S rated your ass and followed you home.
Channel analytics? Stream summary? Channel analytics. Probably that one. Oh, this looks... No. I can see... 0.4 average views? What the heck? Must be counting me. I don't know how that's possible otherwise. I don't know, I'm very confused about how this stuff works anymore. They always change it around every time I look here.
Lol.
Oh wait.
Quantum Apprentice, got happy viewers.
I'm literally looking at the thing that I'm looking for, and I'm like, I don't know where it is. Yeah. I'm used to it say something else. Yeah, anyway, whatever. Wait, it's gone down? How is that down? Is that not an up? It's up. Okay. Everything's apparently down. Oh, it's just day. Let's just change to month. There we go. That didn't change anything. Okay. Why? What is the point of this? Okay. Yeah, I'll be a lot less consistent. Can I set this to be a bigger timeline? I like long graphs. Whatever. Yeah, can you believe that I used to have at least 25 people in chat talking at any time?
Zizek, QA, just for your information. This ass is a shitty programmer. He dumb enough to code everything in JS, including a ray tracing graphics engine OP.
Game engine. This is a Python I'm using now. Just because I feel like torturing myself for the last couple of months trying to generate mechanical gears, so this is where I'm back up to now.
Well, that's pretty impressive.
More impressive if I can find someone to help me do stuff. I can make things work, but I can't make them look good. Although I'm starting to question making things work. Well, now that I got more than one viewer, it's actually like other people might be joining now, because I'm not at the very bottom of the long list.
Zizek, pretty stupid ass if you ask me. Quantum Apprentice, I'm learning C right now.
Yeah, I tried learning C, and then I couldn't be bothered. If I was going to learn something like C after going from JavaScript, I would just go to assembly or something and create everything from scratch, you know. Super duper fancy. But then I've been doing so much stuff with GLSL.
And he's excited. Lol.
I've been doing a ton of stuff with GLSL, so it's like, you know, that's basically C, but the graphics cards. And yeah, I've been sort of wanting to. Hang on. Wait, what? Huh. I've been sort of wanting to make a operating system that runs with GLSL. I thought that'd be interesting. I could rant about that for hours if you want to hear things. Pull up my game engine and stuff, show you all sorts of fancy things. I have done so many things. It's so annoying that I haven't actually made money from anything yet. So I can make it work, but I can't make it look good, and if it doesn't look good, nobody gives a damn. And I have tried to make things look good. That's not within my ability. This is the coolest looking thing I've made. It just needs to have the extra edge loops here. For, up sharp. There you go. Yeah, and I've recoded this thing like 5 times over in the last couple of months. I did have it working a heck of a lot better, but I just like, oh, let me just make this one extra feature. Because it was so annoying creating the filling for this, because I had to do it all manually. Because I just had the outside edges. So I need to create the filling for that, the filling for this. I was like, okay, why don't I just make a program to do it for me? Shouldn't be too hard, right? Yeah. Months later, here I still am. But yeah, I had like bevel gears, twisted gears. These things are well more complicated than you think they are. Gears in general are. I thought it was easy, because I did it and it was easy. And then it was like, no, it's not actually easy. Even these types of gears. You can't ever have 2 gears well, no. You can have 2 gears perfectly intersecting together, like meshing together, but only 2 gears of those exact sizes will work.
Zizak. By the way, Jesse, I can congratulate you because you're no longer scratching the bottom of the channels I follow since you've got 4 viewers, OP.
I used to have 3 back when you first started. They just weren't all on at the same time. It was you, Eugene, and... no.
Oh.
I mean, Eugene was there once, I think. And then he went on my Discord, now he's just there all the time. But he never watches. And it was that Mono Train. He was the other most. That was you, Mono Train, and... Wait, was it Eugene? Am I getting really confused and he's actually the guy that's been around the longest? Oh my god, I think I am. Wow. I have somehow completely forgot about his existence.
Zizak. At 5th function, by the way, Jesse, it's Chuckopiopi at Quantum Apprentice.
What?
At Quantum Apprentice, by the way, Chuck, it's Jesse OP at 5th function.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I've been building this stuff for 3D printing. This was like a little test thingy that I made. Didn't really work. My tolerances are a bit too tight, because this thing's actually really, really tiny. This thing is 2 millimeters thickness. 2 millimeters. You know anything about how big a millimeter is. So what's that, like 60 times a human hair? No, it's much bigger than that, isn't it? Hang on, 36 times the width of a human hair? Oh, it's much bigger than that. It's at least 10. Maybe 30. 30 times? I don't know. Tiny. Absolutely tiny. This is the thing that I'm wanting to create. Let me know if you're there and interested in me ranting about that, because I can rant about this thing for ages. It's just tic-tac-toe. Yeah, but I want to create gears at a button press. A very, very long endeavor that I've been doing for many, many years. Every time more complicated than the last. But this time it's far more simple. And just as hard. Anyway, where I'm up to. It's so complicated. Nothing's simple in the creation of this thing. So, how do I fill the end pieces? That's where I'm up to. How about I ignore how I'm going to be filling around this edge and just get the vertices themselves to appear? How's that plan? Okay. So each one of these edge loops are their own thing. I can just grab whichever one and
would make it quicker just by doing it by hand.
Yeah. It would be done by now if I did it by hand. It would have been done many months ago.
I mean by regular modeling.
Yep. But the problem is I just got to make a lot of variations of different things because I'm not quite sure how certain things work. So I do need the code regardless because I have no damn clue how I'd model one of these by hand. That's just a little bit beyond my modeling ability. Because it's really weird, like, the width of that and the width of this is not actually that much different, and I don't think it's supposed to actually be any different at all, looking at references. It's really hard to tell, because usually the references are tiny and or low quality. But the same goes for this piece. But the problem is, like, that is a whole lot smaller than this is. Like, you see how big that thing is compared to how small that thing is.
See that? At Quantum Apprentice, Chuck, are you still here? Opie, opie.
Yeah, so it's really weird how that works. It hurts my brain trying to think about how that works. But that's how it meshes together. I rotate them?
Quantum Apprentice, yes. Zizak, lol.
This turns out to be a bad type of gear. Yeah. The problem is, which I discovered from my test rig thing, if these two were the twisted gears, and you tried turning the top part, because that turns this gear, which turns that gear, which turns this thing around, which turns either of these sides around, and you could hold one of these sides still, the other side will then turn twice as fast because gearboxing. Yeah. This one isn't animated. I do have an animated one over there, though. Get over there. This one right here. It's not animated correctly, though, as I then discovered later on. So, yeah, that part is the driving part. That part jammed up, so now this part starts turning. Yeah. So it's basically a sideways version. On this one, that powers the side part, which is this part. So any of them could be inputs or outputs. Any two are outputs. Yeah.
Zizak, at Quantum Apprentice, he's making a mechanical computer opie opie.
Well, I'm making a mechanical tic-tac-toe. It's not like a computer, I guess. Not programmable or anything, just is what it is.
That emulates asterisk 386. Lol.
Yeah. As I said, let me know if you want a rundown of how this thing works. Basically, you just have a 3x3 grid of things, you know, tic-tac-toe, noughts and crosses, whatever the heck. You take turn pushing down the buttons, and it rotates the things around, so blue would be one and red would be the other. It would stop before that happens. Yeah, so one person would push it down, the next person pushes their one down, and it would flip to the red one. It has a mechanism to automatically toggle between which one's going to happen on the push down, which isn't in this. It's, that thing moves backwards and forwards, so all three of those, they just move one place and then move back, and move forwards, backwards, forwards. Yeah. And,
Zizak, you know what would be perfect about this? You make it.
yeah, that's the idea.
Print it.
That's why I got the 3D printer all those months ago, which I'm really hoping isn't broken because they keep not checking it. I got like a little layout thingy so I could use my, I worked out how to use my phone as like a webcam thingy, so I got like this little table set up, and I got like a phone holdy thing, and a magnifying glass, and a macro lens and everything.
And it will be used like once.
Well, it's going to be used a heck of a lot in the development of it, because, you know...
And be abandoned forever.
Yeah, well... maybe I might be able to sell it as some sort of a mechanical sculpture-y thing if I'm willing to making a second one of it, you know? But yeah, I have like a whole assembly thing set up so I can stream the creation of a thing. Yeah, and oh my god, fingernails are really yellow. Like, your fingernails don't look yellow, but if you have it next to like a pure white piece of paper, and then a macro lens on your fingernails, they look so yellow. Oh, showing a friend off the whole thing, he's like, oh, your nails are so gross. I'm like, bruh. Just context. Anyway. So I'm gonna have to wear gloves when I do it. It's gonna be interesting. Got the latexy... No, what is they called again? The, I don't know, whatever the special type of gloves are you need for the resin printing. But you have seen my resin printer thingies, haven't you? I can show up pictures of the things I'd printed.
Quantum
Nitrate,
awareness.
yeah.
Nitrile.
But anyway, yeah, the problem with this type of gear is if I have these two gears as the twist ones, and I turn that while holding this still, because they're twisted like this, it sort of wants to go upwards or downwards, depending on which way the spiral's going. So it'll just eventually pull itself so far back that it just spins freely, or it just jams itself in until something breaks. So what you really need to do is have it half spun one way and half spun the other way, and that gets rid of that. The idea of the spinning thing is because of forces with gears and stuff, because basically when you have two gears meshing together, nope. Yeah. So when you have two gears meshing together, you can see this circly thing, which isn't fully there, but whatever. So you could imagine another one. Yeah, I'll just duplicate it. Cool. There you go. So you got those overlapping circles, and basically the pressure of the gear, so like where the force happens, like it would start there on this curve here, and then go through that curve there. So it enters here, and then exits there. And it's like when it's down here, the gears sort of turns faster, and then where the speed it's supposed to be at, and then slower, or vice versa, because different diameters and junk like that anyway. But by having a spun gear, you basically always have contact at this location here, which theoretically means that the gear spins at a constant rate. Because technically they speed up and slow down between each individual tooth, depending on the sizes of the tooths and stuff like that, for how drastic that is. Yeah, this is almost as drastic as you could make it. You need to have at least, so within like the curve thing, you need to have at least two teeth always inside of this, at least partially. Otherwise connections aren't made and your gear's going to slip or jam. At least that's what I figure out. So if I had many smaller gears, it would be a much smoother thing, but... and smaller. Doesn't look as good. It's harder to print. Because these are really, really tiny. Like, the biggest gear in this mechanism is only 18 millimeters. Say 19 millimeters. Which is very, very small. But there's a heck of a lot of gears. Anyway. So if I could have those twist gears, maybe everything would be nicer. I mean, it won't look as pretty. I mean, maybe it would look more pretty, I don't know. But it would just be a nice thing to be able to create anyway. But that's what's overcomplicating my code a whole heck of a lot, because, yeah, twists are complicated. You gotta, like, bend the gear up like that. You gotta change the parameters of the gear all the way along the different sections of it, which slow down how long it takes to run the code. To generate a gear with 100 teeth, it was originally taking about over 30 seconds, I think it was, just for a simple gear with over 100 teeth, or 100 teeth. And my base settings, which really shouldn't take that long. So I got it down to about 3 seconds, but then that way doesn't work because it's really, really complicated. And then to make it work would make it a whole lot slower, so that was no good. And I had to recode it again, and I had to recode it again, and again. So yeah, I think this is the 5th time I've recoded it, which I call version 3. That's just this section of stuff. I've been creating these gears for years. Usually it's just a profiler. Eugene! I don't know how I forgot about your existence. Because your name is spelt different here than on the Discord.
EWW Giant XD.
Oh. Yeah. Just thinking that you only appeared in my stream one time and then went to the Discord thing. It's like, no, you've been here for years. Anywho. What am I doing? I have more than one viewer today. Oh, so much excitement. I could ramble for days. I don't think anyone's really paying attention. Okay, so I have the edge loop things. I only want the side ones and the bevel one. Well, that means I need to figure out which ones these things are again. I know which one that is, and I could just go negative whatever the heck plus 1, there you go. But it's to get to that side. How do I figure out what that is? I could do some sort of a middle thing. Oh wait, I don't care what that side is. Never mind. Okay, job done. So... this would be the top fill. Do I have a top fill? I have a bottom fill? I merged them together, didn't I? Yeah. No, I didn't. The bottom fill is the bottom fill. Bottom fill. Bottom fill? Oh, damn it. Is that the one I think it is? Yes. Okay. Nope. Well, I need a top fill. Somehow I've gone and deleted that. You know what? I can just grab it from the old code. I said I could just grab it from the old code. What? Am I blind? Did merge. I mean, the math ain't that hard. Let's just make it again from scratch. Sure. Stop. Fill. Blah, blah, blah. Should I be putting through the group stuff? Because I am going to want to mirror it, aren't I? I don't have to, but it is more efficient if I do. Probably should. I don't really care. Okay. No. Yes? What? No. Okay, I can just use the whole thing. I don't need this... Wait. No, it's the fill that's going to have the problem with that. What you got? What you doing? Oh, cat wants to play. Back. He so rarely plays, I have to play with her. He stopped for years. Only recently. We went to the cat dentist. I had to change her food. She had some teeth removed. And ever since, she's been a heck of a lot happier. I think it's mostly because of the change in... Why, it's probably because of the teeth. Luckily, they weren't teeth that were important. They were holding, not eating teeth. Flip the screen one way, she catches it. Flip it the other way, she catches it. Now she's done playing. Can't play while she's holding on to it, but she doesn't want to let go. Okay, what was I up to?
Quantum Apprentice. Which cat teeth are for holding?
So cats have a very, very small amount of teeth, apparently. They got like a back tooth, you know, like your chewing teeth. But instead of like humans have like 4 chewing teeth on the top and bottom sort of a thing, a cat's just got 1 on the top and bottom. That's it. It's just 1 long tooth, which is very bad if that has to get removed, because if one side gets removed from the top or the bottom, that entire side of the mouth now cannot chew food at all. So it really speeds up the decay of the rest of the teeth. So yeah, she's got a chip on one, but luckily it wasn't a problem. Yeah, and then the next one is 2 pointy teeth. So, you know, like your canine teeth or whatever they are, it's just long needle-like pointy, you know, so they grip onto the food when the back ones chew it. And then they have like 4 teeth at the front, on the top and bottom, and that's it. It's just all of the teeth the cat has. 4 back, 2 pointy ones in the back, and then 4 in the front. Wait, is it 2 pointy ones at the back? Just on the top?
Quantum
Or is the top or the bottom? I don't know.
Yeah, but which one for holding?
The pointy ones. I don't use the pointy ones to chew. So yeah. So she had to have those removed on either side. Yeah. Which means she's still completely able to eat her food. Yeah. Which I also had to have a tooth taken out a while ago. Just a little bit before she did. After I had my tooth taken out, I went to the vet, get her checked up, because I hadn't taken her a long time. Yeah, because health is fun. I always thought that, you know, if there's no pain, there's no problem. If there's pain, there's a problem. You know, it seems logical, right? Avoid pain. But yeah, it turns out one of my teeth, the back wisdom teeth, had completely rotted hollow. Like, entirely hollowed itself out. I only noticed that it was happening because a piece broke off and it left like a sharp, sticky outy part, which was like scraping across my cheek, the very, very back of my mouth. Like, it just felt like I had a piece of something stuck there. And then, like, I was trying to, like, scratch it out, because it just felt like I chewed on a piece of tinfoil or something, and it got jammed in my tooth. So I was, like, trying to scratch it out. It was just, like, literally just destroying my fingernail, and I'm like, that's not good. Because, yeah, tinfoil would do that, I suppose, but it was pretty jammed in there. Too much for that to be a thing. Anyway, yeah, so I went to the dentist, and they're like, oh, yeah, you gotta get that tooth removed. And I was like, what? And they took, like, an x-ray of it, and yeah, it was very clearly just completely hollow. I'm like, how did I not notice this was a thing? There was no taste, there was no smell, there was no pain, just nothing. It was like that for years, because I didn't think I needed to go to the dentist unless I had a problem. Which I was starting to have a problem in a completely different thing, which they didn't mention. I don't know. Yeah, I had to get 2 fillings, the tooth removed, and I got another filling on the other side, which isn't a problem. So as long as I keep it good, floss and junk, it should be fine. It hasn't gone all the way through the enamel yet. But yeah, go get your teeth checked. At least once a year. Because if I had done that any time the last number of years, I would not have had that tooth removed. And oh boy. There's nothing more fun than them doing that in the chair and the top of the tooth breaks off and they're like, okay, I'm gonna need to drill around a bit. And then they're like, pass me the bone drill. And I'm like, what? Wait, what? Let me say, the bone drill is not for drilling through teeth. That's not what the bone drill does, surprisingly. I mean, it can do that, but that's not what they use it for, so... It's a very exciting experience. Luckily, I was already in the chair with half a tooth missing, so at that point you can't really do anything about it. They gotta continue. You don't stop at that point. Although they did stop to just double check that I was willing to do this because it was going to cost a bit extra, and I'm like, what? Like, you got your fist in my mouth right now. What am I supposed to say? Yes? No? What? I'm like, keep going. Let's stop now. Just get it over and done with. Oh, yeah, fun times. Yeah. Although it was surprisingly painless. I hyped that up to be such a horrific thing to be going on. And it is. The noises. You can't block out the noises when they're on the inside. Yeah. They're telling me like, oh, I should have told you to bring some headphones or something. I'm like, that's not going to help when you're drilling. Yeah. But, yeah. It was just about a week or so for it to heal back up. First 3 days, it's just constantly spitting out blood. But, yeah, there's no pain. Really surprising, which could be a problem. Maybe I have some sort of nerve issue, which is very concerning, because what else could be terribly wrong with me that I just simply don't feel? But, yeah, or that, or the pain medication was really good, or she was just really good at what she did, which I don't see how that could be possible, because it was literally surgery. So, I don't know. But it's over and done now. Really, the fillings were worse. Somehow, in terms of immediate problems. Because that's like the drill that they use for like when they're cleaning your teeth, cleaning the plaque off and things. That's that really high-pitched drill, and I hate that thing. And there's nothing you can do about it. Oh, so it was just that for like half an hour when they were doing the fillings. you know. The bone drill is a little less high-pitched. It's not as bad in terms of that sort of bad. Anyway, what am I doing? Mesh top fill. So, yeah, let's just keep it simple, and I can make it more complicated if I need to later. I hate this, because I know I'm going to have to recode the skin. But hopefully I can just keep it together long enough that I don't need to, you know? Fake it till you make it. Copy that. So, what's this going to do? It's going to grab this thing. I rant in my streams, if anybody's even there. So I built my chat thing, so I can see when people were leaving when I was midway through a rant, especially when it was a rant about a question they asked. Really should just ask more questions if people are listening. But anyway. It was an irrelevant thing. I'm assuming nobody's even there. But yeah, my cat's happier. I think that was the moral of the story. That and the food. Cat food that you buy from the supermarket is not good food for cats. Like, it's not made for the pet. It's made for the person buying the food for the pet. So it's made to look pretty. It's made to be, you know, made to make the animal like it immediately, but not to be healthy, not for prolonged life of the animal. So, yeah, pet food that you buy at supermarkets is basically just candy for pets. And wet food is very bad for teeth. The vet recommends never using wet food at all, ever. Like, you could use it for a treat or something, but should not be part of that normal diet. Because the wet food causes tooth decay. The dry food acts like a toothbrush, as well as actually having all of the nutrients when it's a proper brand. Well, the one brand. There is only one brand, apparently. Same one that goes to every pet store in the world. But it's a heck of a lot better. So now I measure out of food, and yeah, try to be a bit more better with the routine of feeding her, but she just has her own routine. I give her food, she eats half of it, comes back 4 hours later, eats the rest of it.
Quantum Apprentice. My brother feeds his cats raw chicken. Is that good or bad here?
I would assume it is not as good as specially designed pet food for cats that has everything they need. But I don't think it would be that bad of a thing. I mean, chicken supposedly is poisonous when it's raw. That's how chickens survive in nature before humans came along. They just literally were inedible to everything. So, probably not the best in high amounts. Not sure how, like, salmonella and things like that affect animals. I don't know. But yeah. I think salmonella is a bacteria thing. But yeah, raw chicken is literally just straight up poisonous.
Quantum Apprentice. I don't know. We'll have to ask.
Yeah. Ask your vet. If in doubt, ask the vet. But yeah, I got this really, really great vet here. She is amazing. She's been here for as long as I have, and like, she is the vet, you know? Oh my god. Like, I don't know how she does it. Like, she is constantly running around, constantly talking non-stop about nothing. Like, ugh. I went to, like, ask her a thing, because I had the cat, and then she starts talking about, like, I think some woman who had, like, to have her breasts cut off because cancer or something. And I don't know why she was talking about that, like, branch from cat things, and, like, I'm never sure what I should be paying attention to or not, you know? But she will talk the entire time until she's literally like, okay, leave now, next person's here. Like, you know? And then she'll just talk to that person non-stop, while also, like, handling the animals and, like, constant barking of a dog in the background when I was there. Oh, it was terrible. You could tell that was really getting to her. I don't know. But, her analogies just... Well, it's not even analogies. Like, it's just her stories just go on for it. I don't know. Yeah. Clearly overworked, but she's damn good at what she does. But yeah, the brand of cat food, if you want to know what it is, or pet food, if you like, I could tell you what it is. You would be able to get the same one there from your pet store, but you have to ask which one in particular you require for your pet, because it's like, age matters. Like, kitten food is not designed for adult cats. Adult food is designed for adult cats. And then you got like the different specialty types of foods if they require some sort of prescription thing. And then there's different levels of those. While I was at the vet one time, a guy just like walks in and he wanted to buy one. And it was like the most expensive one they had. And because she's actually good at what she does, she's like, oh, does your pet actually require this food? You know, and he's like, I don't know, this is just the one I get. And she's like, oh, and goes into this whole big full explanation rant for the next 15 minutes about what that food's all about, why you would get it, why you wouldn't get it, and all this sort of stuff, and suggests the cheaper or like one that he should be getting and things. After asking a whole lot of questions about everything, which he didn't know the answers to like any of it. Yeah. All I can say is she's a heck of a lot happier since doing all that sort of stuff. So, I don't even care what the price of the food is. You can't put a price on health unless you can't pay it, in which case you're not really putting a price on it, you're just saying you can't have it. But anyway. Luckily, I live in Australia. Although it did cost like $1,000 to do the teeth things. Yeah, we get free checkups and stuff, but they don't really cover too much after that, I don't think. Ah. Also, fillings don't last forever. I did not know that. I thought once you got fillings, that was that. Like, you don't have to go back again unless they fall out or something. But no, apparently every, like, 10 years or something, you're supposed to get them replaced. Yeah, that's a thing I get to look forward to now. Yeah, let's hope I don't get more of those things. So I started flossing my teeth now, and feeding them at least once a day. Yeah, it's pretty consistently at least once a day now. So far I think there's been about 3 days where I didn't. Yeah, I'm really trying for twice a day. You know, once a day is progress. Yeah. She was very happy with the state of my teeth other than that. Seemed like I'd been taking good care of them. I'm like, yeah, totally. I eat nothing but candy, usually hard, crunchy stuff, and you basically don't clean my teeth. But yeah, sure, I look it after them. Anyway, what am I doing? I'm tired. I rant when I'm tired. I don't know if you can tell. So, going through this thing... So, this would be in a loop. I'll get rid of that now. So, we would want to loop this based on the depth detail. And we want to start at 0. Did the depth detail have a -1 on it? Should have. Maybe not, I don't know. Okay. And then this thingy would be 0 minus I. And then we would want -1. And this thing is loc A equals that. So that will be the vertice on the end. That vertice right there should be the one that I'm referencing. And then just down the list. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Okay, so I want to get that, and then I want to... So that should be there. That's more complicated, isn't it? So I need to figure out what that angle is. That should be in exactly the right location. So it should go exactly there. And then just rotate it around. Okay, so verts plus equals dot append. Append location 0 and 1 and loc A2 and that equals I want to rotate that point around 0 and 1, and we want to rotate it around by whatever R is. R is wherever the heck this thing is. That's going to be done in the loop because there's a difference. Yeah. No? Technically this should happen before I lift the thing up. Yeah, I suppose so. So I don't think it should be the same for all of them. So R equals what is the rotation from, I think it's just 0. Let's just say loc equals this. And then we want that. So from there to there, let's just say 1. No. How do I do rotations again? I haven't done these in a long time. So that's just a line going out to that, a line going out to that, but down to that, and then... No, because that's not what that is. That would be... No, hang on. Oh, this would just be 0, 0, right? I'm confused. Because I want to get that rotation, yeah. Not from there to there. I think that should be fine. So that thing, and then I want to divide that up by the not depth detail, by the join detail. And then it would just be R times I. Plus 1. Nope, R times I. That would be with the 1. Okay. That should do it. Let's see what goes wrong. Everything goes wrong, okay. Yeah, what exactly happened there? I was wondering about that. How did you suddenly pop into existence? Oh. I guess that somehow happened? Weird. Ah, damn it. Blender... Let's just do the thing again. Preferences. Oh, there you are. Remove, install, paper. That should be that. Okay. I reference before assigned? What? Oh. Okay, reference before assigned. Ah. Oh. Int object not subscribable. Where the heck are you? What? Really don't know what that error means. You are an array of the location of this thing. Hang on. Yeah. So the first group of things and the last vertex in that group, and then it's x and it's y, and that's just 0. When we get rotation between those 2 points, and then we want to divide whatever the outcome of that is by this, which should just be an integer. I guess that would be a float, it shouldn't care. That gives me R. What's happening? I don't understand. I don't get it. Why? You just not like that being there? I feel like I've done that exact math many times before. Don't seem to have an indenting problem. The brackets appear to be lining up. I can only assume that's the problem? Yeah, still in the same place. You are not what you think, what I think you are. What? It didn't even print? It's saved, right?
Quantum Apprentice, indenting problem, brackets lining up. Does Python pay that much attention to blank space?
Oh yeah. If I did that, breaks the code. Because it just has this thing on the end of a thing, so it can tell when this indenting thing ends by the indenting ending. That's literally how it tells how what things are grouped together. So if the indenting is even a space out of place, it doesn't get it.
That's weird. C almost completely ignores blank space.
Yeah. Same with like JavaScript and junk like that, but no, not this. I could put spaces after that, and I don't think it would care. But yeah, this has to line up. And sometimes, like, by default, it's set to spaces. So instead of tabbing, which is one space that is 4 spaces long, you actually have to press space 4 times for a tab. And it is really annoying. So I immediately just switched that to be actual tabs. Because it's just such a pain trying to line it up when it's just like one space, because like, you know, it's like that. And you don't see that at a glance, and that breaks your code. And it's like, what the heck? So now if I have any spaces that aren't tabbed, it breaks the code.
There's a setting to have tab before spaces on VS Code.
Yeah. But it's really annoying, because if I copy-paste code from Google, from like, you know, the internet, generally they have spaces instead of tabs, because tabs might not display on certain things, so they have to do spaces. Well, sometimes spaces don't display more than one, like Facebook. Yeah, that just breaks your code. So you got to go through and undo all of it, and then re-put it all back in again as tabs, which is damn annoying.
Quantum Apprentice, so Python requires tab.
Tabs or spaces, whatever you set it to. But yeah, that's how it can tell, instead of brackets, to group things together. It takes so long to get used to it, because you're like, how does it know? Yeah, I could do that and it won't care.
Lol, then why not just set it to spaces?
Well, because spaces are really annoying. You gotta press space all the time, and it's harder to tell if one's missing. Tab's easy. Everything's all nice and neat and tidy. No rogue tabs in my code. I hate it when there's a rogue tab. Or like something like that, you know? And it's like, oh, why is that not there?
Quantum Apprentice, also turn on the tab equals 4 spaces setting, cheeky smiley face.
Yeah, well, a tab is a space that's 4 long, rather than 4 spaces that are 1 long. Generally. I mean, unless you're using Notepad, in which case it's like 50 spaces for some reason. like basic Notepad instead of Notepad++. I don't think there's a way you can change it either. Anyway, what am I doing? Yeah, so that's not even printing. Why didn't that print? Because I had the saved. And now it says...
Quantum Apprentice. My understanding is there a setting that switches between the two in VS Code.
Yeah.
ZZ. This AS codes in Python like it's JS.
Mm-hmm.
Quantum Apprentice. I would imagine other IDs have that.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of other annoying things with Python as well. I mean, there's things that I really like, because I can just do this.
ZZ. It's not ID.
So, like, I have an array, and then I'm putting that into another array, and then this returns an array, and I put that into an array, and then I can just add those two arrays together. I love it.
Quantum Apprentice. Oh, true.
You can't do that in JavaScript. Yeah. Lots of fun things. I want to create my own. I was creating my own text editor at one point. To allow you to code, like, however the heck you want.
Wait, what editor are you using?
There's Notepad++. Simples. Usually has like a little map thing to the side, but it glitches out every now and again.
ZZ. Shitpad. Quantum Apprentice. Can't tell it 720p.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe I should update it. Upscale my streams, but then nobody's watching anymore, so... If I get like a consistent...
ZZ. Yarly.
If I get the consistent 3 views, maybe I'll upgrade to like 1080p. The only problem is I recorded all to my hard drive and I got like a terabyte of streams at this quality or less, because it used to be less. This is the upgraded stuff. Yeah, it takes up space pretty quickly. Especially back when I used to do like 6 hours of code every single day, minimum.
Not worth it unless you want to make tutorials, and it seems like you know enough to make some.
Yeah. That's why I'm named myself Fit Function.
ZZ. LMAO, look at me streaming in 4K.
Yep. Okay, you don't save a copy of it though, do you? Yeah, Fifth Function was what I was originally calling myself, because like fifth is 101, which is the first class of the first thing. In binary, 101 is 5, so it's fifth and then function, just to make it different. So there you go. Fifth Function. I was making like I was trying to teach people, but yeah, it doesn't really work. Like, I was just going around Facebook and stuff, being like, hey, anybody want to learn how to code? Because I did like a certificate for website design and development that I just didn't really do because I was coding. Yeah, I got them on my YouTube-y thing. But I'm better at the one-on-one thing, or at least I was before endless amount of streaming to nobody. It should be there if you just scroll down. YouTube. Along with everything else. I don't think these links work anymore.
Okay.
I don't even want to... I guess I can click it. One of them might work. Ah, they don't work anymore. They're all there. I rearranged my website and haven't updated things. Yeah. I cleaned up my thing, so all of the... Wait. Yeah, those things I haven't moved to the unlisted in a while. But I was moving all my streams to unlisted. That was 2 different days? Don't even remember. But yeah, I was doing like a tutorial series things in my playlist as well. A tower defense thing. What? Yeah, the tower defense one. So I uploaded 55 of them. There was about 300 in total. It was supposed to be a game that I was just going to make in a week. Well, actually, no. It was supposed to be a game that I was going to make in about 3 days. So it would be 3 15-minute tutorials after editing and stuff like that. I'll just make a tower defense game. Seems simple. And then I just went really overboard with it and spent about 3 months in it. And, you know, originally I was doing like 15-minute videos, and then I just stopped trying to cut them into 15-minute intervals. Because back then I had plans, I made flowcharts of chunk, I outlined what I was going to be doing and stuff.
Quantum Apprentice, are all your videos 1080p downgraded to 720p?
Yeah, I think they were worse back then. I don't even know. Ah. Because I think my screen literally was just a lower resolution because it was like an old TV screen and it seemed to bug out on certain resolutions. I later figured it out because it was doing like, it was like 1 pixel off at its default setting, so like doing this weird blurring thing because everything was between pixels. So yeah, I eventually figured it out, but yeah, that were like really old TVs from like 2010, and they used like 140 watts of power, so I recently just replaced both of them to these more modern 2K curved 31-inch, because 31 was the size of my TV screen. I don't really want to downscale. But they only use like 40 watts now instead of 140. That's nice. 40 to 60. The whole style notepad took so long to get used to the new theme. I changed it up because I was going to do tutorials again, and it's just looked nicer. Yeah. It's not really tutorial, it's Let's Code or whatever I called it. I was going to do a series of just coding things, just Let's Code. Yeah. I didn't have internet, so this was all just recorded onto my hard drive for later on. Which, they bugged out, like, the internet. So, like, I was supposed to have internet, but then I didn't have internet. And they literally just didn't have it available, but they said they did, and I was waiting for like 2 months or something for them to just get their act together.
It's just that making a video of downgraded 720p doesn't help text.
Yeah, well, I mean, it uses up a heck of a lot less space and internet, because back then I had really limited internet as well.
Some 1080p videos.
Yeah, oh, the ones I don't know, are you? Anyway, the final outcome of that project looks like this, if you want to see. Which was one of the first things, like, I was just sick of making things, and I just wanted to have something that was done. So that's why I just spent so long on it, and just did it from start to end.
Quantum Apprentice. Yeah, the 360 images, one is 1080p.
Oh yeah. That wasn't in the stream, it was uploaded afterwards. Oh great, it's muted. Yeah, so this is how the tower defense game ended. It's got a lot of features to it. So like the background is actually a game that is just like playing itself. So like randomly places towers, which are the 3 towers on the side. And then it's playing some waves. It randomly picks them from the list of games, which there's only 3 of by default, so you know, you got 1 in 3 chance of just picking the same thing. And it has like multiple conditions, like it's going to play for a certain amount of time, or it's going to play until there's only a certain amount of a wave left, or certain things like that before it switches it up. That's a different one. That's not quite there long enough. Yeah. So new game. This thing drove me crazy. I literally spent, I think it was like 3 solid weeks creating this. So when you drag it off the bottom, it appears at the top. It seems simple, and it really should have been, but for some reason it just did not want to work. And it literally took that long to get it to work. I have no clue what made it work, it just suddenly worked one day, and I'm like, well, okay then. I have all of the recordings to prove the full 3 weeks, 12 hours a day messing with this thing. I coded it again and again, and it just always worked the same. Until it didn't one day. But anyway, so you can preview the level, play it.
Quantum Apprentice in Python.
It's JavaScript. It's all HTML. These are like divs and junk like that. It's not even like fancy. So they're all individual elements. That was back before I knew how to use the canvas or anything fancy. Yeah. But yeah, so you can click and place down towers. I have shortcut keys, so you can press 1, 2, 3. You have like a life, so you got the crystal thing, you're trying to defend from creeps that come out of the cave. You got fire, earth, and water. And then they have their own elements of fire, earth, and water, but also 3 different like strengths or whatever. So you got a fast one that's weak, or a slow one that has a lot of health, or a medium one. You know, so fire does better against earth. No. Yeah, fire does better against earth, earth is better against water, and water is better against fire in terms of damage and stuff. They also have armor and things, all sorts of different elements. There are no options. So you can create your own custom levels, you can paint in textures. Just like randomizes each tile that you place down. And it seemed to be animated in this. I didn't even notice that. Whatever. I guess to show that it's paused. Maybe it was supposed to be like that. Oh yeah, hover over things so you can see extra information.
Quantum Apprentice, what's your job?
Maybe this, if anybody was willing to pay. So yeah, I was doing these asset things. That's where I ended it. Because it's only got like 12 textures or something like that, and this is the best I can do, so I was trying to get other people just to make little texture packs for me, and I was going to have a way so you can import texture packs from a URL that you could just upload, so you could have entirely different themes and all that sort of junk. But yeah, the same way that all my projects die is art and UI. This is back before I was so horrifically bad at UI that I wouldn't even attempt it anymore. But yeah, so I just gave up because many people said they were going to help me, and then literally nobody did after all of this time and effort. You got this like fancy way you can place down this stuff. So you can put like a bridge over that. Switch back to this. Maybe you want a road. Back to footpath things. There you go. So like automatically puts the tiles so they join together. Dots in the road and all that, you know. And that's the pathfinding. You can edit the waves of enemies. So...
Quantum Apprentice, this is pretty impressive.
Yeah. Got like this outliner thing, so it's going to spawn one wave of enemies like that. Then halfway through that wave, it's going to be spawning another one. These are fire guys, these are water guys. So this is going to spawn 6 mobs with a delay of 2. Something here says what the delay is. I guess 2 seconds between each one. I think that spawns just one thing, yeah. It's like I can create a new wave. Or a new group of waves. Oh yeah, so it goes through groups of waves, and then like groups of things within a wave, and then you have multiple waves, yeah. You can preview them, just to see you're not going to be overwhelming the person or something like that, because, I don't know. I think that spawned 2 enemies at the same time. Yeah, there's 2 of them there. Yeah, if I add lots and lots of new groups, this thing, you can click and drag it. Oh yeah, update it. So I could spawn 5 of these guys with 1 second interval between each. There you go. I have this question mark thingy here, so you can click on something to just make that pop up immediately, because sometimes it wasn't popping up when hovering over it. Anyway, here's like glitch that out. Anyway, there you go. And then when you're all done, you can save it out. Name it. Whatever the heck information you want to do, starting points, creator, flavor text. Saved. And now if I go back to the menu, I have like a 1 in 4 chance of that level popping up here. There's not enough of a wave there, so I think it's just going to immediately end. Yeah, that's the wave preview thing. Alright, now if I go new game, it will be in the list of stuff. There it is. There you go. I didn't have the exporting importing stuff working. That was the next thing I was supposed to be doing, but I wanted to get some textures before I did that, so it'd be more fun to create it with actual real things that people have created, but nobody ever did. So yeah, Egotad, I think it was called. Epic Game of Towers and Defending. Yeah, it took 3 months to create. Working like 6 to 12 hours or more a day, every single day, 7 days a week. Yeah. This is just the stuff that's got enough playable content to be on my website. And then I got categories of stuff as well. This is just the game things. So yeah, this is my current 3D game engine one. If it doesn't crash. I have a lot of other stuff running in the background. Uses up quite a lot of VRAM. Or GPU power anyway. Yeah, this is rendered on the CPU, the loading screen, and then the rest of it's on the GPU. All my own code, line by line, letter by letter, all my stuff is. Every single thing, except for one thing, and another thing technically. I have one thing on my site which makes GIFs, so you could do like a screen recording thing. And then I have another thing that for the CPU rendering for doing textures, which I had all of the math for. I knew exactly what I was doing. It was just a matter of trying everything in every combination till it worked.
What's the hardest problem you had to solve?
I don't think there really is a hardest problem. I mean, there is definitely a more complicated problem, and problems that took a long time, but there's things that took a long time that shouldn't have, so... but the most fun problem was the trans-dimensional triangulation. So, with 3D rendering, I could rant about this stuff for days. Because this is like per pixel ray trace, like this is literally ray traced. I can do real-time like reflections and all that sort of junk, which isn't enabled in this. It's got a really nice style to it. I really like the aesthetic of this. But unfortunately, that's the best I can do. I can't do any more after this. I always overcomplicate things, and then I can't uncomplicate them. But yeah, you basically got a rendering limit of 1,000 polygons. But yeah, what's that button do? Yeah, that's CPU rendering. Textures are all wibbly wobbly distorted. What? I had more buttons. I'm confused. Is this the old one? This is the old one, isn't it? Yeah, it's the old one. Never mind. That's why it's all missing. And feels wrong. But yeah, trans-dimensional triangulation is...
Quantum Apprentice, have any 10-minute videos explaining problems you've solved?
No, I was going to make a series, a tutorial series doing that though, in a way. 5-minute code theory, I was going to call it.
20 minutes is fine too.
Yeah, it was supposed to just be a 5-minute, really quick video of me just rambling about some sort of a thing.
Do it.
Yeah, but again, it doesn't really look that nice. Like, it's just literally just going to be a wall of text. I'm not quite sure the format of doing it, because it's, I have flowcharts and things, explaining things. But yeah, it's like... When this finishes loading. Do I still have the old one open? I shouldn't do.
Quantum Apprentice, what is it doing?
It's just compiling shaders, basically. I can't put a percentage loading thing on it though. You only know if it's done.
What does the wall of text do that he'll be rambling about?
But it's just it is what I'm rambling about. That's the problem with it. Yeah, so this is the newer one. So I got like normal maps and things. It actually is using proper lighting. Well, it's using dynamic lighting, so I can skip the time. You know, so the lamps are actually giving off light. They are actually light sources, or there is a light where the lamp is. It doesn't look right with that thing, but anyway. So the light around them on the ground is actually because they're there. I can move them around and everything. They don't cast shadows.
Communication barrier, cheeky smiley face.
No, it's dynamic real-time sky as well, procedurally generated. Yeah. So it's basically I would have a thing on the screen.
Between you and me, cheeky smiley face.
What? Communication barrier about what? I'm confused now. But yeah, basically I would have something like, if I can find some sort of example. So like one of the tutorials were supposed to be like giant interlinking networks of stuff, each one being 5 minutes.
Having to type my questions and hope they're understood.
Yeah, I'm just multiple things thinking about. So yeah, one of the tutorials would just be a 5-minute thing about what the heck this is, in a way, like just the HTML stuff. Because this is basically, it's just a HTML page. You have this tag here, you have the head, you have these meta things, a title.
Of course, I like
not
the
those things.
idea.
Yeah. So it would just be like, I would just have this on my screen, like a more simplified version of it. I'm just like, this is an opening tag for the HTML document.
Well, what do those do?
Yeah, that's literally it. So a HTML thing, and then at the end it has it's got a /HTML. That's the closing part of it. Everything between that is your HTML document. The head is the place you put meta information and things you don't want to actually display on your website, like display on your website page or something. I can't remember my script. Then you got the style tags and things. You got your body. You got your script, and then you got divs. So basically it would just be that, but it's really hard to get it to like 5 minutes.
Quantum Apprentice. Now something a little more detailed.
Well, the point is it's just 5 minutes, as I say, like, so this is just like a brief overview of exactly the bare minimum you would need to know to be able to make a page, with a few descriptions like what a div is. And then I would have a different 5-minute thing which says like different types of stuff. So you've got divs, you've got images, you've got like forms, you've got all those different things. So it would just be one thing talking about all the different styles of that. So in my original one, when I'm talking about this stuff and I mention divs, I would have like a little link that would go to the more in-depth one about all of the rest of these body tags, you know, these tagging things. And it would just be literally a 5-minute video about tags. You know, as I go on about the script one, it would be linking to the one about your basic code. You know, it ignores empty spaces, it's JavaScript, you know, what exactly this is, what that is, just a basic overview of things, you know. And then I would have another reference to more in-depth things about what loops do and functions do.
You meant the first episode was overview, and then follow-ups with details about individual elements.
Yeah. So,
Do that.
yeah. And then every single one would be linking to every single other one. But yeah, but at the end of the day, it's just like, I could be typing it out, but that's a pain, and then you make mistakes, and it takes a heck of a lot more time and effort to record. So you just have the pre-done stuff, but then I'm just sort of reading out and explaining it. What I should also be doing would be to have comments, you know? Which, you know, comments after whichever thing it is, so...
Quantum Apprentice, you rehearse.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other hassle, issue. So, you know, if I was to do that and also have comments so people could see and read along, they don't have to have the audio, and then, you know, at the end of the day, what's the point of the video? It doesn't even need to be a video, it would just be literally comments on every single line of the code with a brief explanation that takes about 5 minutes to read through the whole thing.
Quantum Apprentice.
You know, and then it's just me talking
well
it.
As a hassle, cheeky smiley face.
Oh, you don't understand, though. But yeah, so that's all that thing. I do have one on my website. I should have a version of it on my website, on my YouTube. One of my videos is the test thing. Test intro? Oh yeah, I was doing this tutorial, and yeah, that was supposed to be one of my tutorials, a particle simulation thing. Yeah, this one. Hello and welcome to this new tutorial series that I'm trying to make called 5-Minute Code Theory. Yeah. It's the beginning of the new year, so it's a new try at making this tutorial. What year was that? 28? Oh god, I hate time. It's taken too long, and I'm just terrible at recording tutorials, so let's just try to make an Yeah, so it was just a really quick, rough thing, just to see if people would be interested. As possible. Probably be a bit longer than 5 minutes. It's like I can't have background music because I don't know what I can have. Let's just see if I can do this. So, first line we got here, shuffle that thing across a bit. Yes, I am using Notepad++, and this is the Obsidian theme, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah. So then I just basically do the same thing I was just saying. This is the name here, so if stuff at all costs. It's really, like, it's 15-minute long video. It's supposed to only be 5 minutes long. Because it did take me a while to figure that out. I went into too much detail with the script part.
I have experience editing and finding background music for my Vitas.
Yeah, well, it's like if I'm just talking about the basic overview thing, it is far less than 5 minutes. It's nowhere near long enough, so I need extra stuff to pad it out. But then anything extra is going to make it well longer than 5 minutes. So that was the sort of problem. I was trying to go a little bit more in detail because it was the first episode sort of thing, so like, This is my frame rate thing.
Quantum Apprentice, mind if I try editing your video?
Well, I made a thing that edits them for me because I can program stuff. Yeah, so this thing is like one of the later on things that I'll be doing once I've done like explanations of stuff would be something like this, which is if you were to make a game or something, you gotta have time pass in your game, frames progress. So this thing here is a very simple way to have frames progress within a game, at least the way that I like to do it, which I now have an actual upgraded way which can do much smaller frames, subframes. But yeah, it would just be a 5-minute video just talking about different frame rate systems, a 5-minute video talking about pathfinding and, you know, trans-dimensional triangulation for ray trace rendering, you know, much later on. Anyway, but yeah, so how long do you think it took me to record this 15-minute episode, you know? I mean, you would think 15 minutes, right? That would be how long it would take you to do a 15-minute episode. Like, if you try to watch this, try to find my editing locations, because I'm quite good at doing that. With the amount of practice I had. Yeah, so, no, this took about 3 hours to record on the final recording. It took about a week of multiple tries to record this, each one being like a number of hours each, all failing. And then I had to take a couple of days break because I keep getting confused about what I've talked about, what I haven't talked about.
It takes me days, sometimes weeks, and occasionally months to get a tutorial edited together.
Oh, the editing's not the problem, it's the recording. I mean, well, it originally was the problem. But yeah, it's like 3 hours of me, because like, the way that I record stuff for this, the technique that I finally got down at the end of it, is basically I'd be saying the things, and then if I ever make a mistake, I'd just be quiet for a few seconds. And then I also try to remember where my mouse was on the screen, because I'm using it to gesture at things. I'm like, oh,
Quantum Apprentice.
you know.
Lalo, I know what you mean. Recording is the most awful part.
Yeah. So like, I had my mouse here, and then I made a mistake. So I know, okay, I'll move my mouse back there, be quiet for a moment, and then continue on as if I didn't make that mistake. And then, no, I made another mistake, go back, and then no, another mistake, blah, 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 and then I'm like, okay, did I mention that part, or was that one of the parts which I didn't keep? And then it gets really confusing, and then, yeah. So that's how a 15-minute thing gets stretched out to 3 hours long.
Quantum Apprentice. That used to be my method. I changed that.
Well, I made a program in Blender, because that has video editing, and lots of APIs easy to use. So it basically just looks at the waveform thing of your sound, and it has like thresholdy things, so if it's quiet for an amount of time, then it cuts it at that point. It cuts the strip. There you go. The audio and the video. And then it just goes through doing that. And it will remove the empty space in the middle.
Snap.
So yeah, so it's got a bit of empty space at the beginning and a bit of empty space at the end, and then all of the bigger chunk of just nothing gets removed. So nice and easy. I don't know what that is. But then I also made 2 like macro sort of button things that go with it, just shortcut keys. So as I'm playing through it and I hear a point, like maybe I made a mistake halfway through a sentence, or maybe it was at the end of the sentence and the next sentence was wrong, so I just removed that whole next sentence. So I have a button to trim the dead air, the empty sounds, to either be a transition from a word to another word within a sentence, or from one sentence to another sentence. So it just flows, like, as I said.
Quantum Apprentice. Instead of waiting for silence, set it to recognize volume above a high threshold.
Well, the silence thing is great because I have that dead air part, which is what I'm looking for. Because then I can do the thing that I just explained. I'm not sure how much lag there is in the chat. But yeah, so you can see this thing on my YouTube, as I said. You can find a link for that down in the in the chat thing, whatever, under the video, wherever it happens to be. Yeah, it's the episode 1 page setup. Try to spot the points of when I edit that movie. Edit that.
Apprentice. Sorry, may have missed that.
Yeah. So again, I can edit it so if I make a mistake between 2 words in a sentence, I can edit it together so you don't even notice that there was a 15-minute gap between those 2 words. You just literally can't tell. As I said, try have a look at it, see if you can tell where I do these points. Because I can guarantee you will not find anywhere near all of them. Because literally every other word in this thing is edited.
I'm trying to make called 5-minute code theory. It's the
Quantum
beginning
Apprentice.
Of the new year,
Oh, of course,
so it's a
that's
new
what I do
try
all the
making this
time.
tutorial series.
Yeah.
I keep failing it because I keep taking too long and I'm just terrible at recording tutorials, so let's just try to make an unedited version of it.
Oh no, this is an
where
unedited
I
one.
just run through everything as quickly as possible. Probably can have problems with that, but I'll get...
Huh. Never mind. Apparently that's the unedited one. I thought that didn't sound right. I should have one around that is edited. Weird. It should be named as well. I have them on my hard drive. I really thought I uploaded. I remember posting it around as well.
Quantum Apprentice. Lol, don't worry about it, but you definitely seem to have skills.
Well, now a piece of history is missing. I do remember when I cleaned it up. I think I misclicked on a random video and accidentally removed it. Maybe that was the one that I did. Or it's just later on. I don't know. Yeah. This was another tutorial I was going to do. Oh no, this is a tutorial I actually did. Hang on.
This intro episode.
I only have the intro here, I guess. But Uno the card game.
Quantum Apprentice. YouTube asks you if you want to remove it.
I was removing thousands of streams. Like, because I used to stream literally every single day, at least 6 hours a day, usually 12. As I used to have tons of viewers, like, you know, any time of the day or night, there would be at least 13 viewers or something like that in the chat talking. I only counted the people who were talking. According to, like, the view counter,
Dang.
I think one time it got over 1,000 views. But I sort of feel like it was cheating back then because it was on a different site, and when other people stopped streaming, they just would go to the next stream. So if you stream for long enough, you would always get a lot of viewers. But yeah, I think at one point I had like 1,000 people. I want to say they were in chat, but no, it wasn't 1,000. It was like 3,000 or 5,000 or something. So it must have been views, not in chat. But yeah, many things happened. Turns out I was streaming for months and it was just bots, and I wasn't actually streaming because they were being DOSed and they didn't believe me when I was mentioning these things, so it took a long time for them to fix it. And then when they came back, nobody used that site anymore because everything was behind paywalls. That was fun. Lost all of my audience just like that. I had one person find me on YouTube, apparently. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, I made Uno the card game, but this was in... Oh, that looks terrible.
Hello, and
Yeah, I'd start each one with this thing. It changes as I go along and make edits to it. But, yeah, I made this in Blender, the Blender game engine. It looked pretty cool at the end. Oh, this was just all in the console.
hello.
So, yeah, it's just 10... Oh, that... Generally, I think it's about 3 hours long in total. Or 4 hours for all of these videos. I go through it as if you've never coded before. From absolutely nothing to creating Uno the card game in Blender Game Engine. Going through the logic, making like AIs for it and stuff. I got really obsessed with flowcharts at one point. But yeah, it looked pretty cool in the end. But it didn't gain any interest whatsoever, so I couldn't be bothered releasing the videos of making the UI. Which I have a photo around I can show. Probably in the big dump folder. I moved around all my folders recently. But it should be in this one folder where everything else is, so it should be pretty easy to find.
Quantum Apprentice. What are your tags?
Tags?
For this video.
Oh, none. I was manually posting it around and stuff, and 2 likes. No comments. Oh, that was this episode in particular. Wow. Alright, this is 2015. Internet was a different place back then. I didn't even know about tags and junk. I don't even know if I had them.
Nobody's gonna find it if you don't make it searchable.
Oh, it's all outdated information. Very, very far outdated. It's irrelevant. So, it wasn't supposed to be a thing that lasts a long time. It was just like, here's a thing right now. If anybody's interested in this, I'll continue making it. Lots of people say they're interested, but nobody actually is interested. It's like, originally I was supposed to be doing one-on-one tutorials. So I was like, oh yeah, the first, like, 5 people will be free, and then I'll start charging. And then, like, I got the 5 positions filled, and then 2 of them, like, turned up. Or they're, like, one-on-one things. Or just, you know, talked about it after saying that they would do it. Nobody ever replied. And then, what's that still here for? Oh, okay, maybe a little harder to find. Yeah, and then out of the people who did turn up, one of them just didn't pay any attention at all whatsoever, so that's when I learnt to constantly be asking questions about everything I'm talking about as I'm talking about it. Because he was just literally not paying attention the entire 3 hours. I explained to him the entire thing of how to code from start to end. So, fun times. And the next guy just didn't care because it was already things he knew. And I'm like, you do know this is supposed to be for people who've never coded before, right? He's like, yeah. I thought you'd go through more advanced things than that. I'm like, no. I'm explaining what variables of loops are. So he said he didn't know how to code, but he knew everything. Anyway, that's pretty much how it turned out for everybody. After that, I did another 10 people afterwards and just never worked.
Something advanced.
What is advanced? I mean, because the idea of the one-on-one to things is I ramble for a couple of hours about absolutely everything, like what variables and loops are and all that sort of stuff. I don't expect it, like, the people to understand what I'm talking about or remember what I'm talking about. It's just so you know that these words exist and what they generally correspond to. You know, you'll have an idea of stuff even if you don't understand it.
Quantum Apprentice. Oh lol, yeah,
Yeah.
I guess the one-on-one isn't the best place to do that.
Well, that was what I was best at teaching at. So, because I can change things for the individual and they can ask questions. They can't do that with the video. It's really like, when I was learning through tutorials and stuff, like, assumed knowledge is a thing that I really, really hate. Where the person making the video just assumes you know a thing, like, they just don't realize that people don't know this thing, and then you never learn what that thing is, and it's a very key thing, and you can't progress without it, but they never explain it, and it's like, what am I supposed to do? So, with one-on-one tutorials, you don't have that problem. And I was going to do that for a while before doing actual tutorials. But yeah, that's how it turned out. I spent months, years even, trying to do this stuff. But it's so hard to do. It just doesn't work out. And then at the end of the day, it's just going to be lines of text on the screen, which doesn't look pretty, so I can't really post the stuff around because nobody's going to give a damn.
Quantum Apprentice. That's a good idea. Problem I've found is people don't have the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you pay me. I mean, when I was asking to be paid, I was literally asking for a sandwich. Like, you buy me a sandwich, I'll teach you how to program. You know, just buy me lunch. That's it. Just like, $10. And then everyone's like, oh, you want money now? No, you said it was free and things. I'm like, yeah, what? But if you'd like it, it would be really nice if you could, you know, just buy me a sandwich. Yeah. That's just how everything always goes. Yeah. I have many excuses for all of these years of not producing anything that made money. Why can I not find this damn folder? There you are. Okay. Looking for images. I just really want to know if it's in this folder. I should be able to recognize it at a glance. Oh, it's taken a long time to load all the images. That's an earlier version of it. I should have a really pretty looking final
Quantum
one.
Apprentice. Okay, back to the cutting on silence thing.
Yeah, so I made an add-on in Blender that just does that immediately for you automatically in the press of a button. And then you could just select a clip and then press either sentence or word one. So it cut down a 3-hour thing would take about 6 hours to edit down if I didn't have this stuff, doing it all manually. And I have to do it like that day or the next day because I need to remember all of the places where I had the problems. All of the places where I need to cut the audio and junk. But yeah, it would turn that into, like, I could edit down a 3-hour thing into a 15-minute thing in about, 20 minutes.
Quantum Apprentice. Lol, you have the silliest workflow.
It made it take I could edit down an hour-long thing in less time than it would take to watch it, so that was my goal. Because otherwise I had to watch through the entire thing of unedited stuff just to edit it down. I mean, if these two images are here, I should have the other one.
That's what I do.
Yeah, exactly. That's terrible. Sucks if it takes longer to edit than it does to
And I'm
create.
interested in how your program works.
As I said, it just looks at the waveform and then trims it so it's like, so it would keep a bit of empty space before and keep a bit of empty space afterwards and then cut out the middle part. And then it just shuffles it all down so there's no empty gaps between your clips or whatever. And then, yeah, it remembered where every single cut was and how long they were and all that sort of junk. And then, yeah, so it automatically cut it so there was a sentence's worth of, like, the timing between saying one sentence to saying the next sentence. That's a set amount of time of not saying anything. To, that's one sentence, this is another sentence, But if you're saying between words, it's much shorter. But there is still a slight gap. So yeah, you can then just select a clip, press that button, there you go. Yeah, that's that. It would automatically shuffle things down. So you would just cut it into clips, then you'd go through, delete all of the stuff that you did wrong, because you could generally know where in the video each one of those clips were if you've just done it. Takes a few seconds, collapses it all down, cleans it all up, and then you just go through the endpoints. Like, okay, this is clearly the sentence, this is clearly just a word. Click the button, there you go. Oh, here's another picture. It's a more stylized in-game version of it. I know I've looked past it. Too hard to look at all of these many images and also rant. I might not have, though. I could sort it by date, but I don't think that would help. All sorts of stuff. My old background images. Oh, I used to love making this stuff in Blender. How cool does that look? I had a fancier one, I think. I don't think the blue one was for the background. I think I had a red one for ages. Well, I have spent thousands of hours doing all sorts of junk. My absolute peak performance of rendering in Blender. Although I did make a whole lot of advancements on this one. One of those images is the reference, and the other one is my 3D render of it. I mean, it's relatively obvious which one's which, but it's not obvious at a glance. It takes a second, which was the goal. Maybe I don't have the final image. Oh, there. Well, there's one. Another one. I don't think these are ordered at all by time. I know I have this image around somewhere. That's the annoying thing. It was like my final shot of how it all looked. That's probably up higher. Yeah, I don't think they're ordered by time. Probably would help if I made this thing smaller. Whoa, how much did that scroll by? Anyway. Oh, you want to hear about that trans-dimensional triangulation thing? I could read about that for a while. Always a fun thing to rant about. Very complicated though. But I'm so happy that I actually figured it out, because all of my stuff, as I said, it's all created by me entirely from scratch, and I also don't Google things.
Quantum Apprentice. Dang, it's 1:30 a.m.
Yeah, I'm tired too. I don't know how well I'm going to sleep, that's the problem. Sort of achieved something today. I mean, it's better than the last couple of days. Oh, here's one. Yeah, that's what I used as my background for ages. It's like I literally just have like this cross-shaped thing, and then it's got like edges to it, and then it's a mirror, and then the entire thing is sitting inside of a box. So it just reflects backwards and forwards just to infinity. But each reflection makes these outlines, these outlined white edges, glow. So diffuse stuff turns bluer the more reflections there are of it. Simple, but really cool. Still feel like I had a red one though. Yeah, I can't find this image.
Quantum Apprentice. Do you have a video explaining how to do that?
Do it like this? No. It's too specialized of a thing, nobody would ever find it or care. I'd care if they did find it, but it was out of nowhere.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
The idea is to make it look good on video.
Yeah, well, as I said, I can't really make things look good. Make them work. The final thing in my Uno card game. Lots of messing around with shaders and Blender.
Which is why I'd like to edit one of your videos.
I mean, it's more than just editing. It's like, you can only edit the content that's there. You also got to know what can and can't be edited. Like, once before I tried, like, somebody offered to edit my stuff, but he didn't quite understand...
Lol, okay.
Yeah, like, it was a post or something. It wasn't a video, I don't think. But he didn't really understand what I was talking about, so it didn't work that well. He was cutting out actually important bits of information just because it didn't seem like it was important, because he didn't know what I was talking about. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look like I have the fancy version of it, at least not in this folder. I have another folder of images. I thought
Quantum Apprentice. Well, yes, but what if I didn't know what you were talking about?
Yeah, well, I mean, ideally you should do, because that's the point of the
I have
tutorial.
experience with Blender too.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh god, what's this image? No wonder this takes so long to load. Yeah, I was working on some, like, I've been working on a lot of things. One of my big projects was like a crystal shader for Blender.
Quantum Apprentice. Tell ya what, how often do you stream?
I don't know, whenever the heck. Every time I stream, it's like, oh, it's been ages again. Ideally every day. But I gotta get out of the house more and do physical things because health's starting to become problems.
Oof.
Yeah. Time's disappearing.
So do I.
Yeah. But it's more of a problem that time's just disappearing. Like, I wake up, and then it's bedtime, and I'm like, wait, but I haven't had food yet. What? And that's that. That's the day. I'm like, what? And then the years keep going past, and it's like,
But
what
I
year is it
figure if
again?
I hang out for a bit and you get to know me, maybe I'll get a chance to edit something for you, cheeky smiley face.
Yeah, well, it's just a matter of making something that needs to be edited. Ideally, I have things not requiring that. I sort of hate looking at all my old stuff. There's just so much of it. Just endless. I don't delete things. I have like 12 terabytes of hard drive space. Yeah, what I really need is an artist or somebody who has a story that they want to have made. Like, if you know what you want, I can make that. Like, if you can describe the thing you want modeled, I can make it exactly as you want it to be. But you need to be able to describe it with enough detail that I can actually do that. If you just say a tree, I'm not going to be able to do a damn thing with that. Yeah. So if you ever wanted to make a project like that, that'd be really awesome. I have many games, any one you can think of, I probably have something that I started doing with that thing, in that style.
Quantum Apprentice. Lol, just go photogram a tree, a couple of trees in the forest, man.
What trees? Stuff like that. I need more than just that. Like if you say, make a building.
Any.
Yeah. It doesn't work for me.
Doesn't matter if they don't care.
Yeah. But it... Never mind. It's like... The point is that, you know... Like, I'll do something, and then I'll be like, yeah, it doesn't look good enough, you know? That's not what I wanted, or something like that, you know?
In fact, just scan a dozen and ask them which one they like.
Yeah, then it's... There's always more to it than that. Only things were that simple. Look, food that I had years and years ago. That's what I used to eat every day. Back when I used to live off $30 a week. Programming plan. Just trying to drop that? No. The GIF. I don't want to open it up with my GIF thing. Open with. Yeah, there you go. There's my flowchart of my original tutorial flowchart. The UI, HTML, CSS. HTML is inputs and outputs. Inputs require div, outputs require divs, inputs are buttons and text areas. CSS is everything CSS. Code is JavaScript or Python Unity script. Things that another thing I could like it basically the same thing. If you know one, you can easily transfer it. You know, statements, data type, operations, statements are loops, syntax, and functions. I feel like syntax should be its own thing. Had different definitions of stuff back then. Making a chess game at one point. I had many people that were going to help me with that. I was trying to figure out how to do an outline around it. Automatically. Made like an AI and everything for it. Never tell if my images are getting older or newer. As I'm scrolling down. I had them... Should be a photo around somewhere, I'll add sort of it. They're battling on a floating asteroid with like jets on it. And then like when you take out a piece, it just ragdolls. It gets knocked around by all the other pieces as you move them around from then on out. Oh, I made this like really nice loading screen. Dynamically loaded it in the assets from a different file so you could easily switch them out. Had like a rule setting thing so it was quite easy to customize the game so pieces move in custom ways. You could have whatever different type of game you want. Yeah. Rendering styles. Many experiments with materials in Blender. Yeah. I used to do so damn much every single day. Like, never was a day wasted. Until I would play Minecraft for like a month straight. every single day I'd be achieving hundreds of things. And now I'm really lucky if I do at least one thing a week. I hate it. Seems like my style of doing stuff. I don't know what that is though. It's colored. Why is it colored? I don't normally color things. But it does appear to be my way of orientating things. Whatever.
Quantum Apprentice, one thing a week. Sounds like you have a busy job.
Oh yeah. I mean, one thing a day, I say, is the goal. The bare minimum. Sorry, not the goal. You should always do at least one thing a day, no matter what. But now it's like, yeah, about that. More food pictures. What's that one?
Quantum Apprentice. Oh, sorry, I heard week.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm currently doing. I literally haven't done anything this week. I was going to do something, and then what happened? I think it started raining when I was about to go out. No, I was going to do something, but then I woke up and everybody was playing games, and they wanted to play games, so I played games for the entire day. And I was so motivated to do stuff. And then the next day, it rained when I was about to go out. So I was waiting for the rain to end, and it never did. And then I think something else happened the next day. Or was that the next? I don't know. I was wanting to watch the new episode of Loki. The Loki series, which was supposed to come out. And it was like supposed to come out, a guy said like in an hour, and I was looking at my watch and it was an hour after he commented that thing, so I'm like, oh great. I'll wait until that comes out before I do stuff, because otherwise I'll be distracted because I want to watch it. So I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and the entire day went by and it didn't come out, so that was another day wasted. And then I sort of needed a break from all of those wasted days. Oh, more food. Tasty. Back when I used to... How old? Oh no, don't look at time. Hate how I have to add a year to all time. Any dates that I think of is like, you know, last year. It's like, no, that's actually a year. That was 2 years ago now. You know, I was like, what? I have opened a lot of images. And I'm yet to find the thing. Well, where'd my code go? You have a folder here with Blender stuff in it. No? Wow. I have no clue where this image is. I have a clear picture of it in my mind. Only thing I can think is I moved it to my Blender folder, surprisingly. Stuff. Oh, it's not in stuff. Images. Image stuff, oh. No. Screenshots? Nope. What even are those? Oh boy. No, 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 no. No. No, no looking in that folder. That folder is well too long ago. Oh. Whatever, can't find it. It's got really funny hidden Easter egg things I wanted to show.
Apprentice, if you feel like it, would you show me video editing in Blender? Your program at work?
The problem with the thing was whenever I tried to do stuff in Blender, like add-ons and things, the undo button sort of bugs out. So if you ever tried to undo at any time in the entire process, it would crash Blender. And then when it crashed, it lost all of the metadata that it created, so you would literally have to re-edit the video entirely from scratch again. And that's why I hate working with other people's code. I didn't know what to do to fix that, or why it was happening, or anything else about it. It's my own code, I can easily do it, because it's my own code, I created it. But yeah, the Uno game, there's a whole lot of TVs around the table, like a pool table thing. and they're just like levitating cards in front of them, and then you had like a teacup
Quantum
or coffee
Apprentice.
cup or whatever.
So Blender is bad with editing.
No, it was just my add-on. But yes, it's not really an editing program. Yeah, like a coffee cup, steam coming out of it, and then like a stack of donuts, which was before the whole thing with the donut thing in Blender. Like, well before donuts in Blender. And, I think I had something else on it as well. Oh yeah, Crystal Ball.
Quantum Apprentice. Wait, I thought you made the add-on.
Yeah. I don't quite know how to integrate it correctly into Blender, though. Yeah, that was the one that I created, if you didn't get that. So that was my reference, that's the one I created.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's bright. Yeah, so the TVs were around. But yeah, I had like pictures of clouds on the wall. That was one of the sort of Easter eggy thingies. Yeah, this crystal ball thing, which looks like it like focuses the light onto the table, because I can do that, why not? The curtain like moved in the wind. But the reflection map, like everything that has like a reflection to it, so the glass of this thing, that thing, the ball, the TV screens, it all used this image of the sad clown on the wall there. So like you wouldn't notice it at first, but then you might notice that, hey, what's that reflecting? And then like you're squinting your eyes at it and you're like, oh my god, because it's just a close-up of the sad clown face. It's hilarious. I very much doubt that I could open that file anymore though. I had like lighting and stuff, so it was all like dark and spooky, like it's such a surreal location. You can't really see the wall of sad clowns. Like, yeah, you see, there's his eye, there's his nose. This giant sad clown face. Loved it. Yeah, fun times. Everything's so long ago now. So many years, it just keeps passing and passing, faster and faster. And I'm doing less and less. Like, I'm probably doing more, well more complicated stuff.
Well, welcome back to the
But it's just like, less stuff is being achieved, even though more complicated stuff is being done. You know? I don't know why it keeps trying to link to that. Go on. Yeah. Like, I built entire game engines, like, you have no idea how much time and effort it took to create this entirely from scratch. Like everything, the way the mouse moves, the way it understands keyboard inputs, you know? For what you can see on the screen, optimizations, graphics card things, normal maps, lighting, you know, animations, frame rate things. It took months on its own, like years even, just to get the frame rate stable. You know, interactable stuff with 3D and 2D and 1D even. So much stuff had to be created. There's like 10,000 lines of code, and that's simplified down. I have written well over like 100,000 easy in the creation of that 10,000. Yeah. So long, so much time. Normal maps to work. Sort of. Normal maps still a bit glitchy though. Which is a problem with the transdimensional triangulation. It has an extra variable which I really shouldn't need, but I don't know how to remove without recoding the entire thing, but it's as simple as I can figure it to be. Oh yeah, the reflections don't work. Or the not ray trace reflections. I don't know why. Some sort of a translation error in the data. Seems like it's using degrees instead of radians or something. The way you send all the information to the graphics card reading. I've literally recreated how hard drives work entirely from scratch, at least from my understanding of what I've created. I would assume that's how I would create a hard drive. You know? The way, like, every single pixel is that pixel and that color because I coded it to be that. There's nothing here that's doing it automatically for me. Like, every single pixel is there because I tell it to be. Willed it all into existence over many years. But I can't make anything with what I create. Because I suck at that. I have spent years trying to get better at it. I spent months just scribbling things, trying to get better at drawing and stuff, but there. My problem is, as I said, if you say, make a building, then I got no clue what to do, and that's basically what I'm telling myself, like, I need a building, but it's like, what type of building? I don't know. And then that's as far as it gets. I tried to just put random things and just make stuff as required, but I burn out real quick when I try to do that. Many ideas for games that are minimal in art, no UIs, but then I overcomplicate it in other areas like this game. It's supposed to be like a spaceship repairing game. So you're on the spaceship, a spaceship delivery game. So you're a delivery truck driver basically. I won't go through the whole thing, but basically like you just got to keep your ship running. So you got like all these different rooms. You got like a server room. You've got a. Did I have the button for this? Did I just break it? Yes. Uh-oh. I did a little bit more than just break that one. I turned on the real-time reflections, but they weren't built properly. I remember having name tags on things. Press a button for it. Yeah, it's got like a server room, a bedroom, so beds, table, toilet, shower. It took so long to design this spaceship. Ah, I still got the mouse movement glitch. Conferencey sort of a room, or dining room. Whatever you call it, a rec room, treadmill thingy, TV, couch, and kitchen. At the back, it's supposed to be like an airlocky thing to the docking bay. And then you got like the top level of like liquid and gas storage, and the top level of item storage-y sort of things. There'll be like a little elevator thing. Bottom area, walk-in fridge. Engine room? Engine room? Engine room, yeah. The engine's back there. And that would be like mesh looking wiry, like cables and pipes and stuff, like laid on planes. Because it's only got 1,000 polygon limit. And yep. Bottom half of the pipe room. Gravity generator, I want to say. It's supposed to have like a spinning thingy in there. It's got a shadow of it, but the thing there isn't there. Greenhouse. Water and air filtration or life support systems. Elevator. Shield room. Power generation. And the shop. Sure. Where you would craft stuff. So the idea of the game is you just got to walk around your ship, you check on stuff, you got an overview of systems. So you might have a drop in your power. Or no, you might suddenly have an increase in fuel consumption. And the fuel consumption is so high that you might not make it to your destination because you don't have enough fuel for your journey. So you've got to figure out why you're suddenly using more fuel. And you might notice that there's a spike in your power usage. So you go over to the power generation room to check out more details on that. Why is that messing up? And then you look at a little console-y thing, and it'll have like things displaying, saying like what rooms are using what. You can use the UI, figure things out. And maybe nothing seems to be using more power, or everything seems to be using more power. No. Nothing seems to be using more power. So that's indicating that it might be a problem with one of your generators. So maybe some bearings need to be lubricated or something, and they're like glowing red because it's all not good. So you've got to go to the storeroom, grab some oil it, there you go. Increase the efficiency of your engines, there you go. Or maybe you might see that the life support room's using a bit more power, so you go check out that. That's greenhouse, life support. And then, you know, this thing says that, you know, pH balance is off in the water filtration. And that makes the filter go over time, which is using more power, using more fuel. You're not going to make it to your destination, so you got to fix that. Which, you know, you go grab some salt or something and dump that in. I don't know if you need to increase or decrease, whatever the heck. And maybe then it slowly goes back up again, and it's because there's something going wrong with the greenhouse. So the filtered water that the greenhouse is using is messing up your filtering system, which is clogging the filter, which is making you use more power, which is making you use more fuel, which means you're going to die in space. So maybe you just have to straight up shut off your greenhouse. Now you're using more food. It's a more costly journey, but you won't die. Yeah, and then when you get your destination, you do your delivery thing, which I was going to have, you have to put your delivery away. It's not going to just do it for you. So if cold, perishable food, you need to put it in the fridge. If you don't, it goes off. You get to your destination and the guy's like, I ain't paying for this. And then you may even owe him money. So it's like a no hold hands game. Everything happens and you gotta figure out why and what and how and when and where. Doesn't play nice. So if you don't have the supplies you need to repair or temporarily fix something, then you can like use the workshoppy thing to like merge things together to create something else at more expensive cost, depending on how not for that room it is. So things used in the greenhouse can be combined together pretty easily to make anything. But if you want to use greenhouse items like bits of dirt to create like a hard drive, it's going to be very expensive. That was the idea. But when it comes to actually the interaction between individual things, it's a bit more complicated. And then you fill the extra time with like keeping the stats of your guy up. So you gotta stop yourself from being crazy by watching TV, and you gotta do exercise, you gotta drink water, eat food, you gotta like prepare meals and stuff. You can't just be eating the same thing every day. So you need a variety of stuff, otherwise you become less happy. You gotta sleep. Otherwise, you lose consciousness randomly, time goes forwards, problems might suddenly become really, really bad problems. There's no UI, you gotta figure everything out by just what happens around you, noticing things. If you start, like, things start going blurry or something, it could be because you're tired or something, you know? I don't know. All that sort of junk. Sounds great in theory, but when it comes actually to the individual things, it's a lot harder. I don't know what things should be. So I was trying to make it as real life as possible. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go sleep now. I partially achieved something. I now have that entire loop done. So now I just gotta do this part, and then that part, and then array the thing around.
Quantum Apprentice, already.
Alright. I'm probably not going to be on tomorrow. There's a board game thing that's happening in the city, so I try to go out and interact with actual humans at least once whenever the heck I can get out to do that. Which generally is not once a week, because I have sleep problems. So generally twice, and then not again for the next 3 weeks, and then twice. They don't even know who I am, and I've been going for years. Hilarious. Because it's just so, like, every time I go there, just about everybody's always different. And the regulars don't recognize me because there's so many people that come and go. Yeah. Alright.